over to the view and make sure everything's working.
Woo!
Yeah, if there's anyone in the chat, can you please indicate in the chat that you can hear me and Steven as well as at least a little bit of the game volume, because the music's going to be a lot quieter than the sound effects. Which
The
is fine.
sound effects are super loud.
Sound effects are much louder than the music.
It's great.
Hopefully we'll hear from someone in the chat very soon. It would also be good... I hear you. Excellent. Okay, good. So that means our microphone is working.
Silence basement.
And that means that the game volume is working. If we do...
Also the lifting.
Cool.
Amazing.
If we do, if y'all... Just let us know if we need to adjust the sound in any way when we actually get started. The balance is appropriate right now. Excellent. Okay, cool. More Steven. We'll
I just need to yell.
Yeah. We've got a new microphone set up where you should be able to hear us a little bit better than you could if you were watching this last year, or if you're on YouTube, if you watched the Disc 1 speedrun. Maybe. We'll see. You should definitely be able to hear Steven more than if you watched the Mega Man Sprite game speedrun that we streamed, because Steven was completely inaudible in that. So.
Oh yeah, the previous one. You need to submit your record.
Oh, that's true. I do need to do that.
I took your spot. I'm number 3 now, baby.
Yep.
It was verified.
I will do that tomorrow, because I can't have that embarrassment on my record.
You can't have that.
All right, so this sounds good. So I guess we're pretty much ready to get started. So welcome to Legend of Dragoon Disc 2 speedrun. So I'm not going to hit new game because that will tell me to insert Disc 1. Instead, I'm going to start from a file that this is not a new game plus, so this file is not like everyone at maximum level. This is what you should look like if you finished the a Disc 1 speedrun using the new route developed by a guy named Deathtome, who is pretty much the world record holder in every category for Legend of Dragoon at the time of this recording. And he made a new route called the Divine Route. This is what your party should look about like when you start Disc 2. So we're going to tell it to load this data. When the screen fades to black, we will start the timer. We started the timer. Here we go.
Woo! So I'll let you know, we already got a wonderful question from the Liftinator.
Oh, excellent.
Which is your favorite of the Dragoon?
I would say the Legend is my favorite Dragoon.
Okay.
But real talk, the most useful Dragoon in the game is honestly probably Dart. He's the main character, and they made sure that he would be useful in casual play. Because you will see in this speedrun, Dart is incredibly unuseful. But he is useful for experience points getting shoveled into a different character. We'll get to that when we actually start that. So
we also have the Prima official strategy guide for the game right here.
Very true.
I would echo my experience with this game is I beat the target demo disc for this once, and my favorite was also Dart. I thought Dart had the best Dragoon.
So, at the very beginning of this, we're going to sell some of the items that we are taking over from Disc 1. Mainly the healing potions and those 2 night raids you saw me sell. And the reason we're doing that is because we don't need them. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to buy a little bit of armor. This is going to be one of only 2 times we actually buy armor or weapons in this run. So we're going to give the chainmail to Albert. We're going to give the soft boots to Shauna. Shauna is going to be our main damage dealer and main one we want to keep alive in this run, so that's why we're giving her some nice new equipment. We're not quite done shopping yet, but first we need to go up here and activate the first cutscene. So what's going on here? Where are we after Disc 1?
That's what I'd like to know.
So yeah, if you watched the speedrun for Disc 1 or you played this game, you already know this, but if you didn't, or if you don't remember because it's been exactly a year since we did
Death before Dishonor.
That's right.
I didn't forget.
So in Disc 1, there was a war in the country of Serdio, a civil war, so to speak, between Northern Serdio and Southern Serdio. Northern were the good guys, Southern were the bad guys, and we defeated Emperor Dole of Southern Serdio at the end of Disc 1. And he was a bad dude, he was really mean, he was also King Albert of Northern Serdio's uncle. And so when we defeated him, he became our friend, which is definitely a theme in this game of I defeated you, now you're my friend. And he told us we needed to pursue a guy named Lloyd to Disc 2.
Space.
Yeah, in the country of Tiberias. So before I keep going with that, the next thing I need to do is I need to buy some very useful items. 9 translights. These are items that do light-based damage. And I need 1 black rain, which is going to target everybody. And the other MVP of the run are these charm potions. So charm potions, you can pop them when you're in a dungeon, and it'll prevent you from getting into encounters. So
kind of like a repel in Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. They can also have they can also be used in battle, which we'll do exactly once during this run. And if you use them in battle, then the enemies will not target the user that you threw it on in battle, which is kind of neat. I had no idea that was the case until I learned to speedrun Disc 1 of this game. So kind of a neat thing. So anyway, we're in the country of Tiberiwa. We're looking for LoD. And LoD stole one of the Sacred Moon objects. There are 3 of those, and there's one in each of the human countries in Legend of Dragoon. One in Serdio, which he already has. There's also one here in Tiberiwa, and so we don't want him to get his hands on those because he's a mean guy. We don't like him for a number of reasons, and so we're gonna try to find him and prevent him from doing that. So right here, Kathy here at the bar is telling us some stuff as we're telling her that we're looking for LoD. We're actually looking for a man named LoD. There you go. So I was telling the truth. And Kathy does not know anything about LoD, but she's going to point us in the direction of somebody who does, or at least maybe does, named Fester. And so that's pretty much it. We're just, you might also notice that the music got really fast when we got into this conversation with Kathy. That's because I'm cheating. To make this run slightly less boring and not have it quite as long, not quite as long at doing these dialogue sections, I'm using an emulator, and one of the features of that emulator is I can fast forward, and I have everything mapped to my controller, unlike last year where I actually had a keyboard in my lap.
I remember that.
Which was, good times. Another nice feature of this controller is it actually has a turbo button, unlike the controller I was using last year, so the entirety of the run, if I held down the X button, it was being turboed. So that was not convenient. This is much more convenient. So yeah, this run is very unofficial in a lot of different ways. One, I'm using an emulator, which you can use in some official Legend of Dragoon runs.
That is true.
It has to be a specific kind of emulator. It can only be on the level or disc leaderboards. And then I'm also, of course, have other things mapped to the buttons of the controller other than just PlayStation functions. And of course, I'm speeding up. I'm literally fast forwarding through the game. So
that ain't legal.
Yeah, there's no way this can be an official run. I am not, however, going to fast forward through this cutscene because if you do, the game is very likely to crash. So Fester is telling us about the thing that Dart is ultimately pursuing through all 4 discs, which is this thing called the Black Monster that destroyed his hometown and killed his parents way back in the day. So that's kind of the subplot of Disc 2, is that Dart's looking for this thing called the Black Monster, and we're all after LoD, who is not a nice person. So we'll let this cutscene play. They're nice pre-rendered.
After counting 100,
now we do have a question in the chat, which is, what is your favorite color of rain?
You know, that's a good question. I'm gonna have to go with my man Black Rain because it's gonna be really useful in one fight in this run. So yeah, I gotta go with Black Rain. Black Rain, also a good song by the band Eclipse from Sweden. And I think that's the only song I know called Black Rain.
Okay.
There's also a hair metal band called Black Rain. I think they're from France.
That sounds about right.
Which, yeah, so that's they're pretty good. So I'm gonna go with Black for those 3 reasons.
Now we have the Liftinator saying that using fast forwarding through the game should be legal speedrun category. And it would make more RPGs viable at HEDQ. And I honestly, I can't deny you there. I think, imagine someone running Golden Sun. Now imagine someone running Golden Sun
with fast forward.
With fast forward on.
If you're gonna do that, you have to have fast forward on the entire time. So you have to get really, really good at menuing.
Oh my god.
Really, really good at really precise button presses. I think that would be pretty impressive.
That would be pretty good. I think it'd be reasonable to let you be the one who determines which parts are sped up. But I know that in the end, the only viable roads would be all fast forward.
Absolutely. So one thing it's so I can usually, if I'm practicing this too, just like in my room normally without the OBS on and without streaming, I can get through it in about 2 hours, maybe usually a little bit less than that. But since my computer's doing a lot more stuff right now in terms of streaming the game while I'm playing it, so that's why it's more of a 2.5 hour estimate. I don't think I'm actually going to do that bad at this run, but yeah. So Fester has told us all he can about the Black Monster. I'm also really sad that his name is Fester. It's a really unfortunate name.
The uncle.
But now we're gonna go talk to Nello. So Fester tells us like, yo, it's not safe to just like go out into Tibero at night because there's this gang called the Garrett Gang.
Garrett Gang. Spent 10 racks on a new dagger?
So yeah, the Garrett Gang kind of runs the country, so to speak. There is a central government, but the Garrett Gang is really in power right now, so it's not safe to be out at night. So he tells us, go talk to this guy Nello. He's really interested in making the mostly desert country more green again. So make Tibero green again. Nello's all about that. So he says, go talk to him, and if you tell him like, hey, I'm interested in this, he'll let you stay there for free. So Albert's being a real guy, and he's talking to Nello literally all night, so that we can sleep at Nello's house. And then
Really?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
that is the plot of the game. In fact, and I think in the guidebook it tells you that Albert stays up and talks to Nello all night.
Someone has asked, is removing the disc during an FMV to skip it viable?
So there's actually a if you go to the speedrun.com page of Legend of Dragoon, one of the runners, Professor Palmer, has asked about. There's a couple of ways to like really sometimes skip FMVs in the game, and he's actually asked about how legal some of them are. Oops, that is the wrong party. I actually want Albert in the party instead of Hashel, so let me focus on that real quick. There we go. I've done it. And as far as I know right now, there's no good viable way to skip FMVs that would be anywhere close to consistent enough to be used like in an actual run. But I haven't heard about opening the disc tray to try to stop them. I obviously can't do that because I'm using an ISO file. I have this game, but my disc 2 specifically is actually messed up and will soft lock after the last boss of disc 2. Steven, actually back when we were in high school, tried to fix it for me, but alas, it did not fix it. I don't know if you remember that at all, Steven.
I absolutely do.
Cool.
Because the CD cleaner I used to use, I eventually plugged in the wrong power supply to it. The cord shot out of the CD cleaner and smoke went up. So that thing is busted and never coming back.
Rip.
Yeah.
So Nello tells us that we should go inquire about Lloyd in a town called Donau, which is north of the city of Fletz, which is where we were. And to get there, we have to go through the Barrens, which is most of the desert region of Tibero, the country we're in. So here's our first ever dungeon. And this is where we would use charm potions to avoid encounters. But we're not going to do that because we are not going to get into an encounter before we get into the first boss fight of the run, which is Mappy, which you can probably, if you're looking at the stream, you can see the splits. Mappy is the first split. And so here he comes. So there he is. Mappy is one of the enforcers of the Garrett Gang. You can see a couple of their very oddly dressed members right next to him. So here's our first boss fight. This fight is going to be very similar to a lot of the other boss fights in the game, where Shauna is going to do all of the damage, and we want Dart to die. And so if you watch the last speedrun I did of this game, you probably have noticed that, or you did notice that Dart was actually used in that speedrun. Not a whole lot, because Shauna again had the higher magic stat along with Rose, but Dart was definitely used. With the new route, the new Divine route developed by Deathtome, Dart is not used at all, and so you're going to notice that he has very lesser stats than everybody else in this. So Albert we're going to keep alive for this fight. Dart we're not. And I'll explain why we want Dart to die in just a little while. But first I'm going to kind of focus here on what's going on. So Mappy has 600 HP, and Shauna can do about 300 HP a pop using the Translite. And the reason for that is that Mappy is Dark type, and so Dark and Light are opposites. So all Dark types are weak to Light attack. So this Light attack will do a little over 300 damage. There we go. 320. So all we need to do. So now that Dart's already dead, all we need to do now is hit him one more time with the Translite. And so while these item attacks are going off, you'll notice in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, there's this prompt to mash the X button. And the longer you mash the X button, the higher the attack is going to go. And so using the turbo controller, the reason it is a big advantage is that I'm automatically mashing the X button almost as fast as it'll go. This turbo controller isn't perfect, though, in that the maximum percentage you should be able to get to is about 268, and I get 254 each time I use this, which is good enough for our purposes. So we defeated the boss, which Dart's back to life, and
Dart jumped up
hit
from the grave to get that last hit.
Which is going to be another theme throughout this run. So while this in-engine cutscene is playing, I'll tell you why we want Dart to die, and usually we want both party members to die. So the way experience is divvied up in Legend of Dragoon is that each surviving character splits the experience that's gained from every fight. So usually, you defeat a boss, you have 3 characters left alive, they split the experience 3 ways. If we only have 1 character alive, they get all of the experience, which the game is not quite balanced correctly in order for that to not give them huge boosts in levels each time that happens. So we want that to happen. The other thing that's interesting about Legend of Dragoon is that your reserve party members, the ones that aren't in combat, they get half of the experience that 1 party member gets. So since we only usually have 1 surviving party member each fight, that means that each of our reserve party members are going to get half of the available experience points instead of the usual 1/6 of the experience points. So that's how that works. That's why we usually want Dart to die. It's why he's such a low level. And why Shauna at the end of this disc is going to be level 27, while Dart is going to be level 6. So now we're done with that fight, and I forgot to advance the splits, so I just did that now. So that's nice. Actually, I need to cheat again real quick, because hitting the bumper of my controller has turned off the indicators. There we go, all fixed. I'm usually really bad at advancing the splits, but we'll see if I keep doing that. So here we go. We're going to Dano, I don't know how to pronounce it, the Flower City. And we're doing this, now we're doing this for 2 reasons. 1, we're looking for tLoD, and 2, during that in-engine cutscene, Mappy stole Dart's Dragoon Spirit. And since Dart is the main character of the game, he needs that Dragoon Spirit because it's important for him to become a Dragoon with the Dragoon Spirit. And he doesn't have it anymore because it got stolen by the Garrett Gang. So we're also here looking for information on the Garrett Gang, how we can get that Dragoon Spirit back. So that's what's going on in most of these text boxes right now.
I'm concerned about the Dragoon Spirit.
I am too, Rose. Meanwhile, this is happening. So this is a lady that becomes more important in Disc 3. She's a part of the royal family for the 3rd human country, called Millie Sasu, or all of the countries in this game, besides Sergio, have very strange names. But that dude at the bottom of the screen, that's tLoD.
Oh.
That's the bad guy we're after, and it turns out maybe tLoD's not so bad after all, because he's protecting lady over here from the Garrett Gang.
That's
There he is. So anyway, that lady is saying like, yo, thanks for saving me, and he's like, cool, bye.
See ya.
And now we take control
That's what
again.
you call dramatic irony.
For sure. So maybe tLoD's not quite as bad as he seems, but, you know, no spoilers in this, except for the general plot of Disc 2. So we're going to go into this house because here's Kate. Kate has a fiancé who, it turns out, has gone to pursue the Garrett Gang at their hideout, and he's not back yet. And her fiancé, named Lynn, is also the mayor of Danao's son. And so that's no good. He left her a letter saying like, yo, I'm going after the Garrett Gang because they're real bad. And she knows that she's got a bad feeling about this, so she's saying, hey, can you please take this letter to the mayor so that he can send you on a quest to go after the Garrett Gang? We're like, yeah, we're going to go do that. We're going to go save them. Because we are also after the Garrett Gang and they got Dart's Dragoon Spirit. So that's what's going on there. So now we're running over to the mayor's house.
We do, when you have a chance, have a question.
Oh yeah, this is a perfect time because we're literally going to just tell the mayor like, yo, let's go get your son back.
Okay, so the Liftinator asks, do you recommend using speedrun strategies for a first run through this game?
Honestly, if you remember like what items to use on certain bosses, it'll make your run through the game a lot easier. But I would actually recommend just going through the dungeons as normal and not trying to memorize exactly where to use charm potions to avoid encounters, because that's probably the hardest part of this run, honestly, is knowing exactly where to use charm potions and how many in each area, and figuring out. That's another thing. That leads to a very good point about this game. Your item inventory in this game is very, very small. You can hold up to 32 items only.
I forgot about that.
So, again, shout out to Deathtome for routing this route, because he really has precisely routed exactly what items you buy and use when, which is, that's very, very difficult. So, here is our next party member. This is Maru, and she is not going to be used in this disc at all, except to hold a piece of equipment for us. But she is engaged with the Garrett gang right here, and as you know, we don't like the Garrett gang.
Garrett gang.
And she also happens to be at least semi-native to Tiberiua, so she kind of knows the lay of the land a little bit. And she's telling us right now about how... So anyway, what we talked about with the mayor is that the mayor says, like, yo, you got to go through the Valley of Corrupted Gravity to get to the Garrett gang hideout in the land of Giganto. And so we're telling Maru, like, yo, we're after the Garrett gang too. This is great. And so she's saying, like, hey, take me with you. I know about the Valley of Corrupted Gravity. I also know you need the king's permission to even go in there. Y'all didn't know that, did ya? Y'all are dumb. Let me go with you. And so now we have a decision to make. We can either decide to not let her come with us or to let her come with us. Either way, she's coming with you. The only difference is that if you say don't come with us, then it wastes about like 1 second. You get an extra dialogue box. So we did it right.
Wow.
We told her that she could come. So yeah, really elite speed tech right there. And now we're gonna be done with Dano, the flower city. We're done with the flower city.
I don't know.
we're out of here. And so now we're heading back to Oh my gosh, this lady. That happens more often than I care to admit, as she gets in my way. Pretty much every time we're in the Flower City, she will manage to get in my way.
That's the way it is.
So we're heading back to Fletz. That's why the next split is Fletz 2. And while we're in the Barrens, you're going to notice, or maybe you won't notice something interesting, but there's going to be, I'll explain something interesting about the encounter mechanics in this game. There is a glitch. I guess it's a glitch in this game. That causes your... So the blue arrow over Dart's head is how safe he is from an encounter. Blue means very safe, yellow not so safe, and then red you're going to get an encounter pretty soon. So you saw it went down to red. You might have noticed when we were in that screen the last time that we only got to yellow, and yet we were in the same screen. And that's because there is a glitch in this game where when you are running down, specifically down and to the left, it increases your step counter way more than it should.
Oh, I think I know what that is.
So that's why when we're running down through the Barrens, we actually have to use 3 different charm potions to avoid encounters, as opposed to when we were running up through the Barrens the first time, we didn't use any. So that's going to be a theme in a couple of different places where I'm going to really intentionally try to avoid running down and left, and as much as possible, hug a wall while holding up. That's going to help me avoid a few encounters, hopefully. We'll see.
So down to the right doesn't cause it? Or does it also cause it?
Down to the right does, but not as much as down to the left. Okay. Down and to the left is how you would increase your step counter the most, but down in general will also increase it more than running upwards does.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's kind of a fun fact about this game that we're gonna take advantage of, but we're gonna try to avoid running down to the left as much as we can. So we're back in Fletz now, and we know we need to get the king's permission. So granted, if we need the king's permission, we need to go to the castle. That's where the king obviously lives. So we're gonna head up there and see if we can get inside the castle. So we're just running through Fletz again. Not a whole lot of action going on right now until we get up here to the guard.
We did have a question by the Liftinator.
Oh, perfect.
Or not really a question, just a statement. My girlfriend just said, wow, why are they talking about Beyonce?
I laughed at that, but I actually don't get the reference.
I don't know what we were talking about that sounded like Beyonce.
Oh, wait, To the Left. That's a Beyonce song.
Left,
I get it now. Cool. Social conditioning has just told me, like, when you hear something that sounds like a joke, laugh as if it's a joke. And so, but now I get the joke. So anyway, this guard is telling us, like, yeah, you can't get in without permission to see the king. And so we have a couple of options for us again. And so the 2 options are to try to fight the guard, which is a bad idea, or we'll retreat for now. And so we're gonna retreat for now, which is a good idea. We could just say, like, hey, we have the King of Serdio here with us, but Albert's trying to keep his identity a secret. We're trying to keep a low profile, because if it gets out, like, yo, the King of Serdio is here, Lloyd's gonna know that we're here and we're after him, so we don't want that. But luckily, we know someone with access to the castle, our old friend with an unfortunate name, Fester, who's here in the item shop, which is also good because we need to buy some items while we're here. So Fester is saying, like, yo, I gotta buy some materials. Fester is an astronomer, and he also happens to teach one of the princesses in the castle about astronomy. So he's got access to the castle. He can get us in. So while we're here, we are going to buy 1 additional translite for safety. We're also going to buy a healing potion for after our Verage fight, and then we're going to round out our inventory with charm potions so we have exactly 32 items. So
make sure you kept 9 charm potions.
Yeah. Yeah, the translation of this game is not good.
It's amazing that any quality control at all.
Yeah, there's
left all this in here.
There's a lot about this translation that's really funny. Just in the menus itself, when you want to use an item, you go to the option to use it, which is just, yeah, it's pretty bad. The game itself is great, but the translation is not good.
You'll see the name for insta-kill skills is my favorite,
and
you'll probably see it.
Yeah, there's a particular line. It's probably going to be around 2 hours into this run. That is my favorite line in the game, and it's a really good example of this translation being bad. But we'll get to that when we get to it. So for right now, we're following Fester into the castle. You can see the bandits on the other side. You can, oh, there we go. You can get around him and get up here very slightly faster. So that saved all of probably like half a second getting ahead of him to the guard.
Every second counts.
And so the guard's like, yo, yeah, I know you. You're the guy with the unfortunate name. We'll let you in. Here we go. So while we're in the castle, there's not a lot of like, there's no combat in this castle at all. There is a tiny little bit of speed tech that I'll highlight when we get to it. And again, it's going to be saving, you know, on the average of half a second. So the first thing that we can do is, once again, run around Fester to get ahead of him because he's leading us to the throne room. Turns out we've played this game and we know where it is. So here we are in the throne room. I also right now have my turbo button activated. It's that blue light right there, because it's the easiest way to mash through dialogue. I just don't want to have it activated when I'm like menuing, which I don't have to do right now. So we're here in the throne room talking to the king because we need the king's permission to get in the Valley of Corrupted Gravity. That's what we're telling him right now.
I think I've heard of Valley of the Corrupted Gravity.
It's like, yo, why do you need to go there? It's because we want to take down the Garrett gang. They stole something from us. And the king's like, yeah, I don't like them either. They're very much undermining my rules.
We're not going there for a picnic. What a great line.
A great line indeed. So we got the pass to get into the valley, and so we're done here. We're done in the castle, and so we're gonna take our leave. And Fester has to go to tutor Princess Lisa, which is one of the 2 princesses of the castle. The other princess is Princess Emily, who we actually saw in a dialogue scene earlier, and so this lady right here is Library, or Libria, or whatever, which is Princess Lisa's maid. And so she's telling us, like, hey, King Albert, come and I need you to talk to the princess. So she knows who he is, which we didn't really want that to happen, but that's okay. Because Princess Lisa is going to give us some nice juicy plot dump right here. There she is. And she's telling us right now that she's pretty sure that her sister, Princess Emily, is not who she says she is. She is pretty sure that something happened about half a year ago, and she thinks that the Garrett gang is involved because ever since that the horseback riding incident half a year ago, her sister has acted like a totally different person. And so she wants us, since we're going into the valley to confront the Garrett gang, she's asking us if we can look into that, see what's going on there. And so, obviously, sad music is playing, because this is a very sad thing that something's going on with her sister. It's also very fast sad music right now.
Wow, how did that happen?
Who knows?
The ultimate speed tech.
Yeah, I don't know why all these people that run long JRPGs just don't hold down the fast forward button. It makes things a lot faster, guys.
You would probably have to cap the frame rate for the fast forward just to make sure the person with the fastest computer isn't always the winner.
That's probably true.
I don't think it would be too far beyond the pale to like have that.
Probably not. I think EPSXE caps even the sped up frame rate at like 200. I think. So if you just did that, you know, people with quick reflexes, they could do it. But yeah, obviously that's not gonna happen. So. Yeah. So, yep, we're talking to her still. We just told her, like, yeah, we're going to do that. And she said, I appreciate it.
All right, see ya.
And now it's dinner time. So here comes our next piece of speed tech here in the castle. So we need to go find Library and tell her that it's time for dinner. And luckily, I know exactly where Library is going to spawn on the next screen and can run up to her as fast as possible. Here we go. She's going to be on the left side, exiting the dining room.
All right.
There she is.
Oh. Speed tech.
Am I ready for dinner? And yes, we are. Next piece of speed tech is don't tell her no, we're not ready, because that just wastes like a second because you have to talk to her again.
Oh, she's going ham. She's going ham on the food.
So yeah, maybe fake Princess Emily. No spoilers. Is as you can see, she's not quite as civilized as the other members of dinner. And yeah, so we're eating dinner right now. And King Zara's like, my baby girl is very hungry tonight. Yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on right here. We're mashing text. So if chat has any questions
excellent
again,
time for any questions.
Yeah, please.
The Valley of Corrupted Gravity.
Please fire away. Oh, so Princess Emily is pretty shocked. We're going to Valley of Corrupted Gravity. I wonder why. All right. So yep, here we're talking again. The theme of Disc 2, I would say, of Legend of Dragoon is it's a lot of character development. Disc 1 has a lot more stuff happening. You get into a lot more boss encounters. It's also a much longer disc than Disc 2, but Disc 2 has a lot of nice character moments, which is kind of nice. It's another very nice self-contained story, like Disc 1 is. Here, libraries leading us to the bedroom. Turns out I know where it is already. So more speed tech on display, and so yeah, there's gonna be a lot more tech smashing in this disc than there was in Disc 1. So here...
I would rather practice my soul.
So here we're in the bedroom, and more character development is happening, for lack of a better term. And so the only piece of speed tech here is that I'm holding the down button while I am mashing through this text. That way, when we're done with this series of dialogue, Dart does not immediately start talking to Shauna again, because that wastes time and she's asleep. Instead, he's going to run straight to Hashel.
Oh, wow.
And so, and Hashel is going to say something, and Maru's going to be like, wouldn't I look great in a pretty dress? And you can either say yes or no. Doesn't matter which one you pick, so I'm just going to pick the first option, because it kind of saves a little bit of time right here. And that'll be it for our second trip to Fletz. There we go.
Wow. Very nice.
Yep.
Now, we do have a very important question by Silent Spaceman.
Ooh.
What is for dinner?
I wonder what's for dinner.
I wonder what's for dinner.
And now, so now we're done with the Fletz Castle. We have our pass, and so we're on to the Valley of Corrupted Gravity. Yeah. On the way out of Fletz, there's a tiny little bit of speed tech that we'll do on the way out once we get past the guard again. We gotta wait first. There we go. So we're going to talk to the guard. He says he's not going to stop us anymore, and now we're out of here. So there's two ways to get out of Fletz. We can go down the left or down the right. The right is faster because we're closer to it, and also because the turns are a little bit tighter. So that's the slightest of time saves by going right out of Fletz. And so we're done with that. That's about what I expected, about half an hour or so.
Fletz 2.
So hopefully we're going to get to the Virage fight. Or Virage fight.
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. Thanks for not very much voice acting in PS1 RPGs.
That's
all that
true.
Things.
It's like there are definitely games where it doesn't help, like Final Fantasy X, where people are like Titus and then go, "Hey Titus,
hey Titus, you want to do some exploring today?" So here in the Barrens again, we are we're running up, so we don't have to worry about getting into an encounter. We're going to be in the red as we leave, but again, we shouldn't get into an encounter because we're running up. And we did it. Now, here in the world map... Yeah, here in the world map, on the other hand, we can get into up to 2 encounters here, but luckily I know exactly where to throw charm potions. It's at the top of the second mountain and the second to last mountain. Or at least those are good places to throw charm potions. It's not super tight where you have to throw them here, but it works to do this. Otherwise, you get into 2 encounters, and one of them is like right before you get into the valley itself. So that's never any good when that happens. You feel bad. And here we are. So the Valley of Corrupted Gravity is definitely the most complicated of the dungeons that we're going to see in this run.
Sure sounds like it.
So yeah, and there's another fun glitch that happens in this dungeon that affects your step count. So I'll show you that in just a little bit. So first, we're going to run over to this guard. We're going to tell him, yo, we got the pass. And it's like, oh, cool. I'll let you in to the Valley of Corrupted Gravity.
How are these people getting to their base? If it requires, like, an act of Congress to move this, like,
you got
big
me.
Old giant gate.
They've gotten their way around. I will say that pretty much every member of the Garrett gang, except for Garrett himself, that we will fight in a little while, is shown to be really good at jumping and climbing on things. So I guess they can just climb around the giant gate.
Okay, that's fine.
So that's
good.
Yeah, some visual storytelling from the producers of this game. So the Valley of Corrupted Gravity apparently it's all janked up because back in the war between the Dragoons and Dragons and the Winglies 1,000 years ago, this was a big battleground, and so it really messed up the physics when they fought a whole bunch here. So we're mashing through this text, and then we will start with the most complex dungeon in the game. So the first thing we're gonna go do is that treasure chest down there. We're gonna go pick it up, and I've already messed up my movement a little bit, so we'll probably get into one random encounter in here. That's okay.
What was in the chest?
So in that chest is the item Speed Up, which is one of the most overpowered items in the game. Speed Up allows you to double one member of your party's speed or agility stat for 3 turns. And it is an item that you can use over and over again. So you can only use it once per fight, but it stays in your inventory after the fight.
Wait, it never gets depleted?
It never gets depleted. So again,
is that by design?
Yes.
Oh.
So there are several items in the game that are like that, where you can only use them once per battle, but when you use them, it doesn't leave your inventory. So that's one of them. And so it's very overpowered because Shauna already has a very high speed stat, which gives her lots of turns. And so if we double it for 3 turns, she gets even more. So one thing you noticed, maybe, is when I was on those floating rocks, the arrow over Dart's head changed to red, because being on the floating rocks advances your step counter.
Oh, that's really fun.
Now, luckily, it doesn't advance your step counter past the red triangle. So once you're there, being on those rocks is okay. You're not going to get into a random encounter on the rocks, but something like that can happen. So what I'm going to do right now is I hit the save state button, because just in case, there is a possibility this fight can go south, but usually you can run away from these pretty easily. Ideally, I would get to the next screen before this happened, and regardless, I'm going to use a charm potion where I normally would. This should be fine, there's only one enemy. Alright. Yeah, hopefully the 3rd time's the charm.
Oh.
Dart can die, that's totally fine. We don't need him. Alright, I would really love to run away.
Oh,
please let me run away. It's fine, Albert's still out. We're not going to be using him the rest of the run. There we go. Okay, we got away.
Can I see distressed fish in the chat for that runaway?
Yeah, let's get some distressed fish for an unintended encounter.
We got a question. We got some questions.
Oh, cool.
About speed.
Ooh, perfect.
Does it just give you a turn advantage, a higher ratio, or just priority?
It gives you a higher ratio of turns. And then the other thing it does, I think anyway, is that the higher your agility, the more likely you are to avoid attacks. So it's kind of nice. So the other thing we just picked up right now is the talisman. And the talisman is wow, okay, I'm doing really bad with my movement right now. That's okay. Let's get some more distressed fish in the chat for unintended encounters. The other thing, so the reason we picked up the talisman there, instead of going straight to the boss, is that the talisman is an accessory that avoids instant death attacks. And it turns out the next boss we're going to fight has an instant death attack, so we want to avoid that. And hopefully this goes fine. 42 damage isn't very much. And neither is 56. We should still be fine. So we're going to try to run away. Yay!
Oh,
Alright, perfect.
That went much better.
Yes, it did. So yeah, I've been pretty good with my movement on Valley in my practice runs, but of course I wasn't explaining things during that. That's going to be my excuse, is that I'm trying to explain things.
That's what you got. That's what you always gotta say.
Exactly. So
never let him get you. Always tell him that.
So yeah, normally I wouldn't use my first charm potion until I ride this rock down, and I'm still going to do it here because that's what I'm used to, and I'm already in the yellow, so might as well. So first charm potion. While we're in this menu, we're also going to do a couple of other things since we're in the menu already. We're going to replace Albert with Hashel because Hashel is faster. And then we're going to do some equipment managing. So since we recruited Maru, she has a better hat than Shauna, so we're going to give her a stinky hat. We're going to take the therapy ring off of Hashel because we don't want him to survive. And we're going to give Shauna the talisman and the tiara. And the talisman's going to protect her from instant death, and the tiara is just a better helmet than she had before. We took the therapy ring off Hashel. The therapy ring is an accessory that recovers 1/10 of your health per turn, which is really useful. We're going to give Shauna that the rest of this run after this fight, But we don't want Hashel to have it because we want Hashel to die so that Shauna gets all the experience. And so once again, I'm probably going to get into another encounter because this is not perfect movement here. But maybe not. Maybe I can... Oh, nope. I'm actually going to try that again.
Did Pokemon Platinum copy Legend of Dragoon?
Absolutely. I don't know what they're referring to precisely with that comment, but yes, they absolutely copied Legend of Dragoon.
Oh no, that was me.
Oh, okay.
I was commenting that.
Oh,
Because
okay.
there's like a gravity thing that happens in Pokemon Platinum.
Okay.
That's kind of like this.
I would say Sonic Adventure 2 Battle also copied Legend of Dragoon.
There you go. We also have a very important question from
okay.
Silent Spaceman.
What's his question?
Is this a Let's Play?
It is now, baby. All right, so we have seen something on this screen, and it happens to be the next boss we're gonna fight, which is up there. That's the Virage or Virage or whatever. And the lore of this game is that the Virages were effectively the dragons for the Winglies in the Dragon campaign, which is the big war that the humans and Winglies fought. So this was their trump card to the humans dragons as their trump card. So this Virage or Virage is encased in stone, but that has not stopped the other Virage we have fought in Legend of Dragoon back in Disc 1, and it probably is not going to stop this one either. So we're mashing. Shauna has weird effects that happen to her when she sees Virages. She gets kind of sick or whatever.
Wow, I wonder what that means.
I don't know. So here we go. This is where one of my backup saves is, so if I get into another encounter and it goes poorly, I will just reload that backup save, since that blue thing is the save point right there. I'm also speeding this rock up. There we go. And I'm speeding up again. Not very much, but I'm speeding up. And here's where I'm holding up to avoid an encounter. It worked. At least we're going to say it worked. I didn't get into an encounter, so some movement tech right there. Holding the up button to move to the left and avoid an encounter, maybe. So this is a boss fight that can go really, really poorly, or it can go extremely well, as most boss fights can. This one has a lot more variables than other ones do. So the strat here is that we want to use 5 of those translite items on this boss, and that should kill it. Sometimes it takes 6, and the reason for that is that ideally Hashel survives long enough to get 2 attacks in on the boss. And if we can do that, we'll only need 5 of those items and we'll be good to go. But there is a possibility something else will happen. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to use that item Speed Up on Shauna to give her double the speed for 3 turns, which is great. And now Dart is done with his duties. He can die. So we're going to use the Translite on the head of the Virage specifically. You can also target its 2 arms and its body. And if you target the 2 arms, it doesn't do as many of its attacks. And I forget what the body does. I think there's an attack its body does specifically. So the Virage has, I think, 1600 HP. We do a little less than 300 each time. So if we can get in a couple of attacks with Hashel, then it'll only take 5 of these Translites, but it can take up to 6. Luckily, we've got 8 of these to start with, because we need 2 of them for the Garrett fight. So we're not in any danger in terms of that. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
All right, so now it's Hashel's turn. So what I'm going to do with Hashel, normally I would use him to buff Shauna right now, but instead I'm going to go ahead and let him get an attack in, and hopefully he'll get another turn where he can do that. The way this fight can go south is really the fact that Virage sometimes does not like to kill Hashel. It's easiest to kill Hashel using the instant death attack that the Virage has, which is why we gave Shauna the talisman. As you can see, Dart, yeah, there he goes. But if the Virage does not use its instant death attack on Hashel, it takes a long time for Hashel to die. We want Hashel to die so that Shauna gets all the experience points. That's the main way this fight can go poorly, is that if Hashel just sticks around a little bit too long. So far, this is going absolutely fine. We've used 3 Translites out of the possible 6. And so this will not kill Hashel. This might take maybe 150 HP. Okay, that's a lot more. I do not remember how much that did. So this might be the instant death attack. Nope, it's the stomp attack. So we don't like to see the stomp attack on Shauna because it does damage to her, and she's immune to instant death. So we would much rather see that on her. So Shauna is not doing so hot right now. I'm going to go ahead and give her the other repeat item that we use in this run. This is the Material Shield. You can pick it up right at the end of Disc 1 before you fight Dole, and it's another item that goes back into your inventory after you use it. The Material Shield prevents you from taking any physical damage for 3 turns, so it's another one that's really overpowered.
That's really nice.
Yeah. So here's our 4th translite. So ideally, we can get one more hit in with Haschel, and then we can use the 5th one. Or actually, we'll have to heal. We'll have to guard with Shauna until Haschel's dead, because the Verge is not opting to use any of its instant death attacks.
Well, this one still does like an incredible amount.
It does. So this will hopefully get Haschel close to death. It's close. That's good. We like that. So we're gonna get another attack in with Haschel. I'm gonna have that a failed attack so that it doesn't do too much damage. We should be good now. And so now it's time for Shauna not to throw that last translite, because we don't want to kill this thing just yet. We want Haschel to be dead first.
Yeah, we want all that sweet XP.
I'm going to take a gamble here and do one more failed attack with Haschel. That should be
fine. Let's see.
And... Alright, so that was probably... I think the game was trying to have Dart take a turn and it didn't. So now I'm going to attack the Verge's arm instead to make sure I don't accidentally kill the Verge with Haschel. That would be a very big mistake right now. So this is an attack that is going to confuse Haschel. And that can be good because Haschel could attack himself and kill himself, but he could also attack Shauna. So,
that wouldn't be good.
Yeah, so this is a way that this fight can kind of go south. So here's Haschel's turn, I think. Oh, maybe not. This is good. This is going to hit both of them, and Haschel might be close enough to death with this kill.
It's too bad. We aren't gonna see what they call instant death.
Nope. All right. So Haschel just tried to run away in his confusion. We can't run away from a boss fight. And yeah, we're not gonna see the instant death. Oh, maybe we will still, because it's targeting Shauna. So this is not an ideal fight at this point. There's a lot of wasted turns going on right here. You know, that's fine. You can't do anything about it. Oh, this actually might be it.
Oh yes.
Nope, it's a stomp attack.
No.
But it kills him. It should anyway.
Stomping the dirt.
There we go. All right, so Haschel's gone finally. Thanks for that, Courage. So now make sure I don't target the arm. I have done that in the practice before and got really mad because that's just a waste of an item. So the nice thing is we have 3 translights now going into the Garrett Gang hideout, which is great because one of the forced encounters in there, you may need to use that translight. So Dart's back and ready for action.
Jumped up.
And that's the Verge. That was not the best fight, but, you know, it wasn't the worst either.
Now, we do have a question.
Okay, let's hear that question.
By Dudio Man. He's asking, do you like this boss's design? I can't decide if I do.
It's pretty neat. I think that there are other Verges in the game that look cooler than this one. Frankly, the like, half-dead Verge you fight in Disc 1 looks cooler. It kind of looks like one of the monsters from Rayman 2 is actually something I would compare
to.
The Great Escape, which is a great game, by the way. It's a great escape and a great game. So here's Shauna. Shauna's using the... if you remember the sausage monster from Disc 1 / the Target demo.
Kind of do?
Yeah, so she uses this attack.
Yes,
this
I do remember the
yeah.
sausage monster.
She used this weird power on the sausage monster to kill it. She just used it again on this Verge, and she doesn't really know what's going on, so this distresses her. And the rest of the party is like, yo, what's going on here? In some kind of not well-translated dialogue. What on earth are you? To Verge!
Same.
But luckily...
I don't know anything!
Luckily, Dart's in here to save the day. There is
no more Verge.
Art. Well done, the translation. I'm assuming the translation team was just handed all the text in the game and just said, translate it.
Yeah, I doubt they had any context.
And probably had like 2 months to do it. So actual shout out to them because there's a lot of text in this game they translated. So Shauna just gained a whole bunch of levels, which is good because now she'll be stronger for the next couple of fights. It also means that when you gain a level, you don't actually like gain the additional HP. That like your maximum HP goes up, but your HP pool stays the same. So we're gonna heal Shauna pretty soon. But first, we have to talk to all the party members. Reflecting on this wonderful fight they just got in.
Wow.
So Shauna's like, yeah, that was pretty scary, but now I'm okay.
We got some important questions.
Ooh,
if we
cool.
have time. Baron CamLost82 says, "What's up?"
Hey there. I know who that is, but I'm not going to dox them live on stream.
Not this time.
Not this time. But yeah, going pretty good. See you later tonight, dude.
We have Dudiomon says, "Are they BF and GF? She and Faraj got a DTR."
Yeah, they might have been, but then since Shauna kind of left him on red a little bit with that blue light that she
The
hit him
blue
with.
light was her restraining order.
Yeah, so not anymore. So, alright, we talked to everybody, and now we are heading towards the Garrick hideout in the home of Giganto.
Wait, really?
Yep. So the Giganto are a
Check
mostly...
the Prima official strategy guide for this game.
So the Giganto are a mostly extinct race, but we do fight a Giganto in Disc 1 named Kongol, who is fighting for the Southern Serdian army.
Wow, I don't think he'll be coming back.
Nope, definitely not. So here we are in the home of Giganto, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open the menu. So a few things we're going to do here is, first of all, since Shauna leveled up, she has a lot more HP now, so we're going to heal her so that she can actually have that HP. And then we're going to change our equipment real quick. So let's see. We're actually, sorry, I forgot the order in which this goes. So we're going to give Shauna the Therapy Ring. We're going to give Hashel the Bandit's Ring, which increases his agility. And we're going to give the Talisman to Maru. And the only reason we're giving the Talisman to Maru is that later on in this disc, we're going to sell all of our equipment. And so we want to keep that Talisman for later, like in Disc 3 and 4. So we're giving it to Maru so that we don't accidentally sell it.
Do those arrows hurt you if they hit you?
They slow you down.
Okay. Well, that's even worse.
Yeah. I don't think they actually affect your HP. I could be wrong about that. I honestly don't remember. So here we're going to avoid some arrows from the Garrett gang, and they're gonna laugh at us a lot. Oh, we can't go that way, but we can be laughed at some more.
Oh man, they got you with the Joker's trick.
Oh, I would definitely say this is a bit of a Joker's trick right here. All right, and now we just need to avoid some arrows for a little while.
Oh wait, are you controlling that?
Yeah, I'm controlling Dart.
Oh, that's wild.
There we go. So we're done avoiding arrows, and so the Garrett gang is now bringing out their champ. Here he is, Gangster A. And it turns out Gangster A has some cool dance moves that Hashel recognizes. Oh, well, go ahead.
A Rethon in the chat says, "Watch out for Gangster." Boy, boy.
Alright, so here we go. So Hashel recognized those dance moves that Gangster A was doing. Wonder if that's going to be a plot point in a second.
I hope not.
Yeah, me neither. There we go. Took a little while for that to load for whatever reason. Alright, so this is a fight where that Black Rain that we picked up back at the beginning of the run, we're finally going to use it. So the first thing I'm going to do with Hashel is to make this safe. I'm going to go ahead and have him hit the Gangster.
The Gangster. That is actually his name.
Yep.
In the guidebook, it says Battle the Gangster.
So now Hashel's dead, which is totally fine. Dart, we're just going to have him guard. We're not going to get enough experience points from this battle for it to really matter in terms of the experience routing. And now Dart's dead, which is, again, totally fine.
160 on guard. You gotta love it.
Alright, so now we're finally going to use that Black Rain. Now, the Black Rain's not going to hit too hard because the Gangster is a Dark type. But since Hashel hit him, we should be totally fine. This should kill him.
Oh.
And if it didn't kill him, the other thing we have up our sleeve, we have that extra translite that we saved from the previous fight. But that does it for him.
Woo!
These two will probably run away.
Run away.
And if it doesn't, it'll just take one shot. Alright, perfect.
Run away.
So that was a good fight. Do 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 do. I should mention that after every fight, a tiny little time save is that if you mash the X button, it'll transition to the actual winning screen menu a little bit faster. So I do that after each fight, but that probably saves all of 10 seconds throughout the run doing that. So it's not too important. So Hashel is asking the Gangster where you learned those dance moves because it turns out Hashel is the one that invented them. They are a part of the rogue school of martial arts that Hashel founded, or at least is the only master of. And so it's pretty weird these people know those dance moves, and it may mean that somebody in the Garrett gang might have used to train with Hashel. Maybe. And now, yeah, Hashel's gonna...
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
what happens when you crack a giant circle. It just sinks into the ground.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what happens to me in real life.
Exactly. Alright, so we're almost to the next boss, which you can see is going to be Garrick over there on the splits. And so Hashel is very concerned right now that dude knew those rogue school moves. And so he's chilling right here. Everybody else is like, yo, I'm gonna look in this cave, see if anything's going on in here. Maru's gonna keep watch with Hashel. And it turns out Hashel doesn't want any help.
What?
He's running ahead. He's pretty sure he knows who Garrick and the Garrick gang is.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, so off he goes.
That's a concussion, I guess.
And so Dart says there's rock fireflies in that cave. Rock fireflies show up a couple of times in this game, and they heal your HP to full. We don't want to do that because we want Dart and Hashel to be as easily killed as possible. Ooh, bad movement there, right there. Oh, someone's getting a phone call.
I gotta get it. I gotta take this.
All right, so Steven is not going to be helping with commentary right now. That's
I'm so
okay.
sorry.
I'll
be back soon.
We're gonna be all right. So there's a mysterious figure over there. All right, so here we are at the at just about the Garrick fight. So there's Garrick on his throne. He's talking to Mappy about stuff and how they stole the Dragoon spirit, how they're doing some crazy things in Flets. They're infiltrating the government, all that good stuff. And but then suddenly a familiar face appears, and who could it be other than? All right, give me a second. There he is. It's Hashel. So it turns out Hashel and Garrick know each other. And that's why everybody in the Garrick gang knows these rogue school martial arts moves. It's because Garrick used to train under Hashel, and Hashel taught him those moves. And here's the rest of the party to save the day. So, right here in just a second, we're going to be asked about what party we want to use for this boss fight. And so we're going to leave it on the default party, which should be Hashel, Dart, and Shauna, which is exactly what we want. So we are about to start our fight. This is another fight that can sometimes go wrong, and that Garrick and Mappy can decide to only target Shauna, which is not good. We don't want them to do that. We would much rather them target the rest of the members of the party. So let's see how this goes. So this is a fight in which you're going to use items again, and so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use 2 translights on Mappy. So Mappy is still dark type. He had 600 HP the first time we fought him. Now he has double that, so he has 1200, but luckily Shauna is stronger now, so she does about 600 per attempt. So that's perfect. So 2 hits and he'll be gone. And so now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and speed up Shauna as usual.
Hit the boost, kid.
So, and then hopefully Dart's turn will be next, and he'll throw the material shield on Shauna. And again, that will protect her from physical attacks, which is pretty much the only thing these 2 guys do, is physical attacks. And this is good because with Mappy still alive, it's possible for Garrick and Mappy to do their combined attacks. Yeah, which can do a lot of damage even to Shauna. So here we're going to take out Mappy with our second to last translight. This is the last one we'll be using in this run. Or not this run, but in this fight. And down goes Mappy. And so now the next thing we're going to do is we held over some spinning gales from Disc 1, and we're going to use those on Garrick, because Garrick is ground type, and these spinning gales are a wind type item. So these do additional damage to any ground type enemies, which Garrick is. It's going to take 3 of these to bring him down. He's got about 2,000 HP. These do a little bit less than 700 damage, so
not bad.
So it should just take 3 of those. Dart is still alive, so we're going to have him attack Garrick. Maybe Garrick will get mad and attack Dart. That would be nice.
Are there aggro mechanics in this game?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
So this fight has gone pretty much perfectly so far. The only way this can go bad now is that if, or maybe not ideally, is that if Garrick targets Shauna with his next few attacks, it just wastes turns, and we need Dart to be dead. So hopefully Garrick will target Dart here, and he did. Fantastic. So this makes up for Verge being such a bad fight, because this is about as good as you can get. The only thing that could go badly here is I could get a bad damage roll, and I would need another spinning gale to take him out, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I think they've been hitting pretty good.
Yeah, it's very consistent in terms of how much damage you do. That actually... Nope, that did not kill him.
Oh.
So he's very close to being dead, but not quite there yet.
I like that he's a martial artist, but he also has a knife.
Absolutely.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
2 attacks.
Because he's got high speed as well. Luckily, Shauna's got a decent bit of HP.
Ooh.
So I'm going to take a risk here and just shoot him and see if that kills him. Probably not.
Oh.
It did! Alright! Gamble So that's the Garrick fight.
Oh my goodness. F's in the chat for that amazing gamble.
Alright, so the next fight of consequence is not going to be for a little while, so we'll enjoy this this in-engine cutscene. So Mappy must have hit the self-destruct button when he said that, because here comes the ceiling. It's coming down. Yeah, that was pretty lucky.
That was amazing. That was some good stuff.
I think with all of the streaming stuff going on, my button mashes using the turbo are not going quite as fast as they sometimes do. So I think that might be why my damage rolls weren't quite as high as they usually are. So I noticed that got to like 240 instead of the usual 254 that it usually gets to using the turbo button. So still pretty good. And who saves the day? It's Kongo.
What? I thought he wasn't gonna come back.
I didn't think he was gonna come back either, but he did this time. So there he is. He's a very strong guy.
Dang.
And he's gonna throw that boulder away.
That's incredible.
Thanks, dude. He's pretty steamy after that.
Dang, I would be too.
And Dart is pretty surprised.
Dart remembered his name.
We do fight him twice in Disney, so that's, he's a pretty memorable guy.
He's a big dude.
Alright, lots of level ups again for everybody outside the parties. They're getting bonus experience since everyone's dead except for Shauna. And here we're gonna mash through some text while Hashel tends to... So again, the theme of this game tends to be that I've defeated you, now you're my friend. And so Garrick is telling Hashel, like, hey, Lloyd's been helping us out. We have replaced one of the princesses in Flet's castle with an imposter. That's why she's acting funny, because we're trying to get the moon dagger from her. I think this is where there's a pretty good line delivered by Hashel. He says, "Shut up, talking makes you die." I'm pretty sure that's where this happens.
There's no world where equal exists. Cool, thanks, Rose.
Thanks, Rose. And so the reason Kongo has decided to join us is that we defeated Emperor Dole, which used to be his master, and so we are stronger than him, and Kongo likes following strong people. So that's pretty good motivation.
Oh, Mirror's like, I want to be with you, Dart.
Dart is a naturally charismatic guy. He does have cool armor, but he's at least in the speedrun, he's very bad at fighting.
Yeah. You keep getting your face stomped in, dude.
I really like that. I'm drawn to people that just have 1 HP the whole game and die in one hit.
We got a question in the chat.
Oh, perfect.
For me. Duty of Man said, did Steven really get a phone call that isn't spam? And how does it feel to be your wireless service provider's favorite? I actually got like 5 calls today that were not spam.
Wow.
So, believe it or not, because I didn't.
I think we just missed the talking makes you die line.
No,
but,
I'm
oh
so
well.
sorry.
That's alright.
Don't say anything. Talking makes you die. Why is he? Oh, because we...
Yeah, that is why. That's why talking makes you die, because we threw a bunch of items at him and then shot him with an arrow.
Yeah, well, that's what happens.
That's what happens.
This is the most realistic game ever made for the PS1.
That's right.
Everything that happens in this game you can do in real life. You can catch a big rock. You can... Did he say he was going to entomb him or throw him off the bridge?
I think he said he was going to go entomb him.
Okay.
You can also, in real life, speed up time, so...
Yeah.
So, things in the speedrun are also very similar to real life.
It's called too much coffee. Or going to sleep.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Going to sleep is my favorite way of speeding up time.
So, Maru's banging on that cellar. So, remember, we tried to get here. Another reason is because we're looking for Lynn, who is Kate's fiance and the mayor of the Flower City's son. So he says,
yeah.
Thanks for rescuing me. I'll help you look for your dragoon spirit that's somewhere in here. So.
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about that.
Yep.
That hasn't been important.
Exactly. And it will never be important in this run.
Dang.
Yeah, so Legend Dragoon, we're gonna see some cool dragoons. That's kind of like the big gimmick of this game is you can transform into a dragoon. We don't do that in the speedrun, sorry. And where could the dragon spirit be? I found it. It was the shiny thing on the floor over here.
Oh, wow. It always seems to be the shiny thing on the floor.
That is very true.
I don't know why everyone else decided to look at the pre-rendered 2D background.
I agree. Pretty silly on their part, but that's okay. Alright, so we're just about done with the tech smashing in this dungeon, and then we'll get to a little bit more speed tech. One thing I think I'll get to show off is menu abuse, which will happen in just a second.
Oh boy.
All right, so first things
Adult
first.
select.
Yeah, first things first. We need to put Shauna back in our party. We are not going to use Kongle in this run. Kongle is like the stereotypical tank in this game. So he is very strong. He has very high HP, but he has very bad magic and he's very slow. Which in the speed run, that's all we care about is magic and fast. So we're not going to use him.
Neither.
Yeah. So we're going to use a charm potion at the bottom of these stairs, and then we're going to get out of here. So,
get out of there, it's gonna blow.
So in this dungeon, again, we're moving downward, so that's why we need to use charm potions here, unlike when we were moving up. Plus, we got into a forced encounter, so that kind of resets our step count. But since we're moving down, we should get into the red around now. So what I'm going to be doing here is something called menu abuse. Now, every time you open the menu, you've got a few seconds where nothing can happen to you, including opening the menu. And so I'm going to open the menu a few times to make sure I don't get into encounter, and we're out of here.
Oh, that's a classic move. I did that all the time in Phantasy Star 2.
So that's the only time that I'm going to use menu abuse in this run. It's the only time where in the route it is called for, and I don't know my step route well enough to trust using it other than that. But you can tell it's working because you can just smash the menu button after you close the menu, and it won't open until you would be normally vulnerable to getting into an encounter again. So kind of a neat little trick. And that's the only time we're going to see it, so hope you enjoyed. The way out of Valley of Corrupted Gravity, knock on wood, should be a lot easier than the way in. You only should need to use 2 charm potions, and the route to the exit's a lot more direct, because there's a nice floating rock that takes you right there. So first screen we've gotten through, which is great. And so the next screen, as soon as we get off the rock, we're going to go ahead and use a charm potion, and we should be good through that screen and the next one. So
Excellent.
yeah, so hopefully that'll happen anyway.
Is it just that there's a one-way thing that takes you like all the way?
Exactly, yeah. So we don't have to worry about getting through this gravity puzzle. As a kid, I could not figure out that puzzle for the life of me.
I don't blame you. When I saw what you were doing, I was kind of confused as to what was interactable and what wasn't.
Yeah, it's going back and playing this game again when I was in high school, it was a lot easier. And then of course, my third playthrough that I did when I graduated college was even easier. But it turns out when you're in middle school and elementary school, those kind of puzzles are not easy.
Yeah,
because kids are not as smart as adults usually. Oh crap! All right, so I missed the prompt to jump on that rock, so that's too bad. I've got to wait for it again.
I remember
Hopefully I won't miss this one.
the teleporter puzzle in Saffron City.
Oh yeah.
It was always just like, as a child, I could not understand.
Nope, it's just you don't have the brain capacity for it. At least I certainly did. All right, so when we jump down to the bottom of that tree, because again, on these rocks, your step counter is advancing. You just can't get into an encounter. Same thing with jumping down the tree. So now that we're at the bottom of the tree, we'll pop our second charm potion, and we should be out of here.
Woo!
So that was pretty good. That was definitely a much cleaner Valley of Corrupted Gravity 2 than our first trip here. And we should get in the yellow as we leave the screen. Yep.
I remember you. Now you're gonna do the scene that you showed when we were setting up.
That is true. It is just about time for that. So yeah, I showed Steven a couple of the more interesting, maybe not interesting, but the more involved parts of the run that weren't just mashing text. And that's coming up very soon. So on the way back, we need to use 2 charm potions again. So the first time around, we did the second mountain and the second to last mountain. This time, we're going to use the third and final mountain to use our charm potions. There's the final mountain. Go ahead and use that second one. That's not the only place you can use it, but it works. And so it's good to have a kind of consistent way to remember it. And as you saw, we only have 2 charm potions left in our inventory, which is perfect. We will use them both here in the Barrens.
Oh, and you'll be right back in town, just in time.
Just in time.
Up again.
Exactly. So again, this is a really, really elegantly routed game at this point, thanks to Deathtome for coming up with this route. Granted, it was still very nicely routed beforehand, but this is a really, really nice speedrun route. So Glenn is telling us that, hey, thanks for saving me again. I'm gonna go back home to the Flower City. If you want to, come up to our wedding. You'll be our special guests. And you can actually do that.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you can go to his wedding, and Shauna catches the bouquet. And we're not going to do that. See ya.
Oh, God.
But yeah, that's one of the quote-unquote side quests you can do in this game, is go to their wedding.
That's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, it is nice. But we don't do that because it's slow.
Yeah. Oh, you should make. There should be a wedding percent where it's,
Absolutely, get to Lynn's wedding as fast as possible.
That would be really funny.
And so again, we're moving downward, so we have to use more charm potions in the Barrens than when we're moving upward. But luckily, we are almost out of here, and we're out of there.
It's very interesting.
Yeah,
It'd be interesting to see what they're running down on the step timer.
I agree.
The step counter to see if it's actually like steps or if it's like, because I know the perspective of that thing like changes when you're going down.
But it happens in any dungeon. That's kind of the mechanic is that weird step counter thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That might be just intended.
It could be. I know that. So I found out this summer that there is someone that's kind of. They're not remastering the game, but they are updating the translation, and so I think Disc 1 is done. They've completely from scratch retranslated the game, and it looks really good. Like the things they say make a lot more sense. And I think one of the things they were also doing was fixing that encounter glitch where running down to the left increases your step count really fast. So
I would love to see that.
Yeah, it's pretty. I could probably find it because I'd favorited the video on YouTube that the person put out as like a demo for it. I'll try to find that because it's pretty cool. So here, what we're gonna do, we got a Moon Serenade, and we might also have. No, we don't. Okay. Sometimes the bandit fight can drop a pellet. I didn't remember if it did. So now we're gonna get 3 healing potions, 1 healing breeze, an angel's prayer, a mind purifier, and then we're gonna pick up 6 translights.
I want that to be number 7 cap.
Yes, exactly. And then the rest of the things we're gonna get are charm potions. We should get 9 of those. Let's get a 10th one.
You might have missed a translate?
I might have. We'll find out. And the nice thing is, if I did, well, I can go ahead. I can just pop a charm potion and get rid of it. I'll find out in a second. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to use the Healing Breeze. The Healing Breeze restores half of your HP to all of your party members. We want that because we want obviously Shauna to be close to full HP, and then we also want Hashel to be alive enough. All right, we got enough of them. We're going to pick up 1 more though. It's actually in my notes just in case this next fight goes kind of sideways. And so now that we have all of our items, it is time to head to the castle. You'll notice suspenseful music is playing. And that's because it's almost time for the coming of age ceremony for Princess Emily.
Wow. Who
we found out, thanks to Garrick, who we killed earlier, is a fake from the Garrick gang. And so in this coming of age ceremony, Princess Emily is going to get handed the Moon Dagger, which is one of the 3 sacred moon objects from the Dragon campaign. And those sacred moon objects are the things that Lloyd is after for some nefarious deed that he's doing. So we don't want Lloyd to get his hands on those, and he's going to be able to get his hands on those if the person he's working with in the Garrett gang gets the Moon Dagger. So we need to stop that coming of age ceremony, and the easiest way to do that is find where the real Princess Emily is hidden somewhere in the castle. That's what Garrett told us is where she's at, somewhere in here.
So I have a question about Lloyd.
Yeah.
Is he basically Shishomaru?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, because he's well, spoiler alert, mute this for the next 5 seconds if you don't want a really basic spoiler.
If you don't want a spoiler for Legend of Dragoon, mute it.
So Lloyd is being manipulated by the real Big Bad. Sort of like Shishomaru from Inuyasha. So yeah, that's a good... so here is the stealth section.
I hope you're ready for a sneaking mission.
Yeah, so what I did earlier is I waited for those guards to stop looking at me so I could get past them. And so if the guards see you, so these guards are not real castle guards. These are also people from the Garrett gang who the fake Princess Emily has put in place for her coming of age ceremony. So we're avoiding them. But luckily there are a few guards that are still loyal to the actual king and princesses. And one of them is this guy right up here. And this is Princess Lisa's tower. And so we're going to go find her, because maybe she has an idea of where the real Princess Emily is being hidden. And so, since she studies astronomy, and astronomy is kind of magic in this game, she knew we were coming. That's how she knew that Albert was a king earlier. And she's about to pull out something that looks like a dragoon spirit, but it's not actually a dragoon spirit. It's just a shiny thing. And she's gonna. I promise she's about to pull it out.
All right.
She's gonna.
It's an amazing plot.
It's really incredible. You think it's a dragoon spirit? It's not. She's here we go. There it is.
Wow.
It's just a shiny thing. She's asking the stars to find her sister. It doesn't work. So we still have to go find her sister for her instead.
Nice.
So yeah, lots of text mashing going on right now. And now we're back to the stealth section.
And we do have a question.
Ooh, perfect.
By Duty O Man.
Ooh.
Do we get to see the fake princess use the moon dagger to hastily cut her dinner?
I wish. That's one of the things I still wish would happen, because I still wonder what's for dinner, and that's also never revealed.
It is never really revealed.
All right, so
do you think this game has a stealth section because of Metal Gear Solid?
Very possibly. There's also a stealth section in Disc 1 in the final dungeon of that game. So that guard down there has eagle eyes, and luckily he didn't see me. Okay, that was good. That was very close. But you can time that right, where the first guard, you run past him, and the second guard didn't see you. So Princess Lisa's like, yo, I'm the princess, let me in. And the guard's like, nah, I'm not going to do that.
He's also not very well disguised because he calls himself Bandit Knight.
That's very true.
Really, really bad call on his part.
So now we have to go to the other tower, which is Princess Emily's tower. Luckily, both those guards are not looking at me. I'll jump into the stealth room. Which kind of looks like an organ, maybe. I don't know.
Guard, this is a sneaking mission.
I'm gonna wait for that bandit to turn around again and turn back. All right. It's not worth trying and getting spotted by them, honestly, because you can do that a little bit faster than I did it, but it is at least when I'm doing it, it's not consistent. I'm pretty sure that like the top level runners of this game, like I'm pretty sure Deathtome would do that. I'm pretty sure Dark Lord Gonzo would do that. I would not, because I am the opposite of a top level runner of this game. So here, those are also bandit guards. Sean and Rose are like, gee, it's a long way down. I would really hate to fall to my death here. And so they're like, all right, see ya.
See ya.
All right, so now we're going into Princess Emily's room to look for her.
She's the JPEG.
She is the JPEG over there. Very minor spoiler for what's about to happen in like 5 minutes.
As literally as possible.
All right, take a really keep a close eye on Dart's model in this room, because it does not do what it's supposed to do. You already saw him just fall down. There, he does it again. I don't know why that happens, but it's great. It's not supposed to.
Oh. Silent Spaceman has some very nice words, but Djumbi's my top level speedrun.
Wow, thanks, Silent Spaceman. I would make a heart, but I'm holding a controller.
I'll do it.
There we go. Alright, so now we're in some sort of magical dimension where, what could be inside this painting but the princess?
Look, Luigi! Over there!
So yeah, this, so it turns out that even though Pokemon Platinum copied Legend of Dragoon, Legend of Dragoon copied Hotel Mario.
Yeah, honestly, this game is just like, if you played Hotel Mario, you've played this game.
Alright, so we activate the magic bridge, and we go find the real Princess Emily, and we tell her to wake up. She's been sleeping here for 6 months.
She would have, like, bed sores if that were the case.
Oh, for sure.
I can't imagine being totally immobile for 6 months and, like, being able to immediately walk afterwards.
Alright, but yeah, we're mashing some text right now, so if there's any more questions in the chat, fire away. We've got a good minute of nothing. Maybe a little bit less than a minute. About a minute.
Silent Spaceman has a recommendation.
Ooh.
Djumbi should speedrun Hotel Mario someday.
I agree. That's a much better game than any game I could speedrun, so I agree 100%.
I feel like you could do that emulated, but like because the Philips CDI controller is a television remote, I feel like that would just be torture.
I agree.
And you'd also have to shell out some big dollars. Uh-oh.
So
who are you?
You are forced to get seen by the guard here, but now you have the real Princess Emily with you. And so she's like, yo, where's my coming of age ceremony at? And they're like, that way. And then they know the jig is up, so...
Bandit Knight, boy!
So off they go. They gotta run. They gotta get to lunch. And now it is time for us to interrupt the ceremony. Because again, we have both princesses with us right now, and the other one's supposed to be in the room already. So again, these bandit knights also know that the jig is up. Time to leave.
See ya.
Shall
I
we go?
appreciate how quickly these bandit knights decide to get out.
Oh, yeah.
Once they realize the jig's up.
So the king is about to hand down the moon dagger. So any objections? We are all...
Wait!
Here we are! We got here just in time, unlike in the original Shrek. Oh, but she stole it anyway.
Oh, man.
So that's too bad. So plot twist, this Princess Emily that's a fake is actually the next boss fight. And if you got some eagle eyes, you can probably guess that the next boss fight is Linus.
Linus.
Or Linus.
It's probably Linus. But Linus is also very funny.
I agree. Alright, so here's Linus. Linus is probably the hardest boss in the run, because she has a lot of HP, and we don't have a lot of items that do a lot of damage to her.
Only chance you have is to give up. I don't know the meaning of give up.
Alright. So she told us that she's gonna fight us now. And now we're fighting, so...
So I do have a question about this fight.
Yeah.
So, Linus, or Linus, is a wingly, right?
It is heavily implied that she is, but at least at this point in the game, it's not told to us directly. But yes, she's a wingling.
Is that important later on?
Kind at the end of the run, yeah, it is. Oh, don't want to do that. I want to do the speed up on Shauna, get her some more turns. So this is another fight where we want Haschel to stay alive long enough to do a couple of hits on Linus. So what we need to do is we need to throw at her 4 translights, sometimes 3 if Haschel can get a couple of hits in, and then all 4 of those burnouts that we saved from Disc 1.
Oh, you saved? This is great. I love this route.
Yeah, so it's
it's
really like you carry over a lot of stuff from very early in the game for late in the game. So Dart's dead.
Oh my god.
But the nice thing is, Haschel still has all his HP left, so what I'm going to do first, I'm actually going to go ahead and have him attack instead of throwing the material shield on Shauna, since Shauna still has full health right now. And this is an attack that hits everybody, so Dart's already dead, so it's not going to affect him at all. But it's going to hit Haschel, it's going to hit Shauna, and that's fine. So Haschel's probably got one more hit left in him, hopefully. And, oh, she's doing it again! Great!
Oh,
alright, so Haschel's probably dead now, which is kind of too bad, but oh well.
One hit.
Maybe he'll have a little tiny bit of HP left. I highly doubt it. Yeah, he's dead. Okay.
He's down now.
Not the end of the world. So Shauna only has about 316 left. I am going to take the risk and go ahead and throw another Translight at Linus right now. Linus's attack that does the most damage can do about 260 damage to Shauna, so as long as she doesn't do that, we're fine. And if she does do that, I did just make a save state so that... Alright, so we're good. So now that Shauna's a lot more HP, because again, she's wearing the Therapy Ring, which allows her to heal 1/10 of her HP every turn. And with her speed as high as it is right now, she gets 2 turns in a row. So that's 3 Translights. I'm going to probably switch over to Burnouts now, because maybe Haschel did just enough damage for the 4 Burnouts we have to take down Linus. And that's a good attack. We want to see that, because it doesn't do as much damage as Spear Frost is the one we want to avoid.
Yeah, I didn't see any Spear Frost the last time.
Yeah, so
hoping that it stays
hopefully it stays that way. The worst thing that can happen is a Spear Frost and then Linus takes a second turn. That is very unlikely to happen, so I'm pretty confident in not popping a healing potion yet. But I probably will on Shauna's next turn. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to take the risk. Healing potions are up here. So we should be very safe at this point in terms of dying. So this was definitely not an ideal encounter. Ideally, Haschel would have stayed alive a little bit longer to maybe tank some hits. This could be. There's 2 different magic attacks she can do. And wow, the game is lagging a lot because of her. This is Spear Frost. We don't want to see this. But oh well. Here it is. Yeah, so yeah, 264. That's why we used that healing potion. So now we're gonna switch back to our burnouts though. And so Linus has 3,500 HP. So just kind of an FYI, each of these burnouts should be doing about 500, although lagging a little bit. You gotta get 250. Nope. Okay, so my damage rolls are not super good right now because the game's lagging a little bit, which is too bad.
Is it time to manually mash?
I don't think it's quite time to manually mash, but this is, yeah, that's kind of rough right there. next time I do a Legend of Dragoon stream, I'll probably reduce the resolution of the game by a little bit. This is if she does magic, this is the one we want to see. This is one that hits all of the party, and because of that, it hits each member of the party a little bit less than a normal, or a Spear Frost would do. So that's way better to see.
Now the guidebook. Does have some interesting commentary about this.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's hear what Prima has to say.
Prima has to say, this isn't a quick battle. It can take over 12 rounds.
That's still probably true now.
Venus isn't an easy kill. They tell you to use the Dragoons.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
Have Albert Kongol or whoever is your third use the special.
Oh, so the special is if you have everybody with maximum SP, then they will all turn into Dragoon at the same time if you use the special command.
Yeah. I forgot all about that.
Oops, alright, that was a mistake. But that probably won't matter too much because it gave me another turn. So, since I'm not getting great rolls right now, or not like great matches since the game is kind of lagging, what I'll probably have to do is these 4 burnouts are not going to kill her. I will definitely have to use at least 1 more translite, and I might even need more than that. I should be doing closer to 500 damage with each of those, but again, we're getting a little bit of lag right now with all these magic attacks and the animation that she's doing, so oh well.
It's just how it is.
Yep.
He's gotta
roll with the punches. So here's another Spear Frost, which is not the one we want to see. We still should be fine.
Hate to see it.
Yeah.
Hate to see it.
Alright, so hopefully this next translite does her in. You can see that she's in the red, which means she has only a quarter of her health left, or less. Hopefully this will do it. We'll see.
He has approximately 3,131 HP to 3,211.
Alright, that didn't quite do it. That's alright, this is a safe attack. And we did buy an extra translite just in case this battle didn't go so well, and so this is a good reason for that. So this should do it. If this doesn't do it, I will be shocked.
I think he also, for whatever reason, the animation on the translite is easier to get higher up on.
The fire animations are consistently the ones that lag the game. So alright, that wasn't the best fight, but we did it.
Gonna drop a concerned fish in the chat.
Oh, absolutely, for a fight that didn't go according to plan.
Concerned fishes, get that Illuminati touchdown going. Now, Dudio Man has a very good question.
Ooh, let's hear that question while
Why
we mash these
didn't
attacks.
they develop this game so that it could perform at 60 FPS while streaming on Twitch?
That's a great question.
A question that I also asked.
So yeah, really poor optimization of this game. It cannot run, at least it cannot run on my laptop at an up-res emulator at 60 FPS while streaming, and also while we're using a third-party program to make my telephone a microphone, and while I'm using a third-party program to map additional buttons to my controller so that we can speed up the game with it.
Yes.
Unbelievable, guys.
I can't believe it.
Come on. Yeah, SMH.
When they developed this game in the 90s, they really should have been thinking about this.
Tisk tisk. Alright, so here we're just mashing through some text again. So, since I used an additional translite, what that is going to mean is basically nothing. I was checking my notes to make sure it didn't mean anything, and it doesn't. We still have 2 health potions, which is great, because we want to get Shauna back to maximum health before we get into our next set of fights, which won't be for a little while. We probably got a good 30 minutes until that next split, which probably means about 15 minutes until our next dungeon where we actually fight something, and that's totally fine. So we're gonna leave the castle. What the king just told us basically was like, hey, she took the moon dagger, and as all good bad guys do, told you exactly where she was going. She is going, she said, to Elissa Bay, which is going to be off the coast of Tiberiwa. So we're going to go and sail there. So the king says, yo, take my flagship, the Queen Fury, out of the Flower City, and I'll get you there real fast. So that's where we're going to go do. Because we want to get Linus, because we want that moon dagger back. So we want it because Lloyd wants it. And we don't want Lloyd to get what he wants. And the king wants it because it's kind of a symbol of their royal family. Yeah. So we're going to go try to get that back. It helps everybody involved to get that back. So we're going to head up to the Flower City, which means we go through the Barrens again.
Where did she say she's going to be?
She just said, hey, if you want it back, come find me in Alyssa Bay. So that's all we got to go on, but it's better than nothing.
It is true.
So running through the Barrens, since we're running up instead of running down, we only need to use one charm potion and not on this screen, which is pretty nice. And when we open the menu to get that charm potion, we're also going to go ahead and heal Shauna. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So we're going to use it. We're going to use a charm potion. And we're also going to use one healing potion on Shauna. You can see that her HP increased again since she leveled up again.
200.
Yep. As is the case. Dart's still sitting there at level 5. And that's okay, because he dies a lot faster. Yep, you love to see it. So again, we're not running down to the left, so we should be maybe in the red when we leave. Nope, in the yellow. That's pretty good. All right. Now it's time to go back to the unpronounceable city. Let's hear in the chat. Let's see in the chat what y'all think Dunno is pronounced as. Let's see some phonetic pronunciations in the chat. That would be hot.
We got Cassie Brown, who said that they have waited 293 days for this.
Oh, nice. Technically, it's exactly 365 days since we last streamed Legend of Dragoon. But yeah, glad to see you aboard.
And Dudio Man says the hunger strike until we streamed again was difficult.
I can imagine it, but y'all did it. That's why we're back, baby.
All right, I'm gonna put Denou in the chat. How it's spelled? It's like DANOU.
Yeah, there's a lot of vowels in there.
Yeah, let me see. This game. No, it's DON. Don. No.
Alright, we've been
there
waiting.
We go. So pop that into the chat.
Oh, perfect.
If you know how to pronounce that, let us know.
Because we sure don't.
Yeah.
Alright, so now we're on Alyssa Bay. We're heading to the actual island itself, and while we're on the boat, this is another big moment of like character growth and whatnot. So this is the one point in the game where you actually take control of each of the 7 of your party members, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
It's always fun.
So someone on the animation team, animated a full run walk cycle for each of the characters. And we're like, hey,
you're gonna see it. Bro.
Yeah, I know they're in some of the the dungeons talking to people, but make sure that the player actually sees these. So
yeah.
So here we go. We're actually going to use them, and
I call this the Dragon Quest IV thing.
So Shauna's admiring the birds and is talking. And so the main thing that you're doing while you're controlling each of these characters is you're going to a different character in your party so that character can talk to them, and then you take control of the character they just talked to. So first off is Shauna. She wants to go talk to Dart, and Dart is up to the north, so we're going to head up there.
Are you also doing a recap for the stuff that happened presumably 10 hours ago when you played this game?
Kind of. Like, are you talking like the characters are doing a recap?
Yes.
It's sort of. They're mainly like they're reflecting on their journey. That's a good way to put it. Some of them more so than others. So like Dart and Shauna talk about stuff because they throughout the first disc are very much on like a will they won't they in terms of like start dating each other or whatever. And so they're everyone can sense the tension, including like the captain of the ship that they just met. And so they're talking about that over here. And Shauna runs away. And the captain's like, yo dude, you should maybe not be so bad with women.
Silent Spaceman says, do now.
Do now.
Dudio Man says, Donald Le Trump.
That's pretty good. I think those are right. I like do now. That actually could actually be it. Plus, it's like, hey, what do you want to do now? Speedrun Legend of Dragoon.
Exactly.
All right, so we're gonna go up.
Move up.
To talk to Rose. Because really, the 3 main characters of this game are Dart, Rose, and Shauna. So they're the ones with the most screen time. This is a neat point to point out. If you look at the top of the screen, as the screen rocks back and forth, the black space at the top of the screen just gets bigger because they didn't quite make enough of this pre-rendered background for what they actually ended up using in the game. So,
Amazing.
so yeah,
and the whole boat is in the pre-rendered background.
Yeah, so that's kind of that's a nice touch. It's kind of fun to point out.
That's what I'm talking about.
So Rose and Dart reflecting on their journey. Like, look at these cool Dragoon spirits we have. If you don't remember from the first disc, Rose was the first Dragoon in the party. She had a Dragoon spirit even before the game started, and she helped Dart awaken his. So Dart has talked to Rose. Now he's gonna head out. This is a perfect time for literally anything in the chat, because this is just a lot of text mashing. The only piece of speed tech here is that right here, Rose is going to get the prompt to either move up or move down. We want to move down, and we did it.
You don't want to get off the ladder.
I don't want to get off the ladder and talk to that one sailor over there either. So maybe not speed tech, but it's like, make sure you remember to do this, because if you don't, then you just kind of waste time.
We have Silent Spaceman says, literally anything.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, Silent.
Dudio Man says, can anyone tell me if I should get this mole checked? I would say, I believe the common idea with that is if the mole looks the same as it's always been, it's fine. If it looks different than it has before, you should get that checked. Or if it's new, you should get it checked.
Yeah, so here are the ABCDs of your moles. A is abnormality or is asymmetrical. So if your mole is asymmetrical, that's kind of a warning sign. B is what is B? I don't even remember anymore. C is color. Oh, B is border. So if it's a nice, sharply defined border, that's good. If it's not a defined border, maybe not so good. C is color. If the color is just brown, that's good. If the color is kind of varied, has lots of colors in there, not as good. D is diameter. So if it's if it's the size of a pencil eraser or less, that's safe. If it's not so good. There's actually also E, which is evolution. So if it's getting bigger, also not good. That's the ABCDs of moles. Hashel just had a flashback to when he was training his daughter in the rogue school, and she accidentally punched someone to death, and he told her to get out, and he never saw her again.
Oh my god.
And so the reason he actually met Dart before the game started is he was out looking for his daughter while Dart was questing to try to find the black monster, which is kind of the thing he's looking for the whole game. So, so that's Hashel's kind of character quest is trying to find his lost daughter. So this ship guy, there we go. I like to go through that middle door because if I go out the door on the right, I just have to move to the left anyway because that guy with the broom right there gets in my way. So it's easier just to go through the middle door for each of these characters. The next character we're going to take control of is Kongol.
Oh wow.
So there he is.
Now Dudio Man has clarified. What if the mole is hairy and lives in the ground?
I would definitely get that checked for sure.
Checked.
Yeah, because if you press the reset button on your console, that mole could get really mad at you.
Yeah, watch out. If you decide to change the time in the clock in your house to a time that it actually isn't, and insist that that's the actual time, he'll come up to your doorstep and start yelling at you.
Yeah, so definitely get that checked if I were you. So Kongol's gonna go talk to the king. Because Kongol wants to know what's for dinner, and I missed that door a lot.
I wonder what's for dinner.
Kongol's character model is a lot bigger than everyone else's, so controlling it, it's kind of off compared to controlling all the other characters, so I miss that door consistently when I'm doing practice runs of this, but oh well. So we're going to talk to Albert. Nice thing to note is that in this room, they got a nice like leopard print rug down there.
Yeah, that rules.
Pretty cool. Definitely like a really nice ship that the king has.
Yeah, the king knows what's up. He
All
knows to have 4 identical beds in a very odd position next to the fireplace.
And luckily, there's another living quarters. So Albert wants to go talk to Maru, and there's not really any character development that happens here. He just literally says, "Maru's fun. I'll go talk to her." So here they are. They're talking now, and Maru is basically saying, "I'm bored." And Albert's a little bit too royal for her tastes. She thinks he's kind of boring. she thinks Dart's a lot more exciting because he keeps getting killed in battle. And that's very exciting. So
she only likes dudes who get stomped, who are level 5 and just get curb stomped every fight.
Exactly. So she's gonna go see Dart, and here's a pretty cool thing that's about to happen. She's about to play a bit of a Joker's trick on Dart.
Joker's trick.
So let's see some Joker's trick in the chat.
Can we get Joker's trick going in the chat? I'm seeing a football being passed from a fish. That's kind of a Joker's trick. But let's get some Joker's tricks going in the chat.
All right, so here comes her Joker's trick. She's gonna cover up Dart's eyes and ask who it is. You can pick any of them, it doesn't matter. Just picking the first one's a little bit faster because you don't have to scroll down to anybody. But you can even guess it's Kongle. The result is the same unless you guess it's Maru, and she'll say, ha, no, it's me. And so now, to kind of cap off the running around as every character, Maru suggests to Dart that they should go play a Joker's trick on Rose.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which is
knowing
bound
what
to go well.
Yeah, I was going to say, knowing what I know about Rose, who seems to have issues with, like, ancient conflict and is working through, I'm sure she's going to be amazingly happy with a Joker's trick.
Joker's trick.
We get Silent Spaceman is putting those Joker's tricks.
Oh, excellent.
in the chat.
Thanks for that.
Thank you for the Joker's trick.
I'll make sure, for people watching on YouTube later, I'll link Joker's trick in the description.
Excellent.
So that you can understand what on earth we're talking about.
If you
here.
want to watch all 45 minutes of Joker's trick. Actually, it's 48.
It's 48 minutes, yeah. All right, so
Feel
here we
free to
go.
listen.
We're about to play a Joker's trick.
Don't play a prank on her. I won't.
All right, so it turns out that we won't get the chance to play a Joker's trick on Rose, because Rose is a bit of a Joker's trick for us. Because here comes the. If you talk to NPCs and do now, they will tell you like, hey, there's been a ghost ship spotted in Alyssa Bay. Here it is. Also, for all of you watching at home, please enjoy this cutscene in ultra widescreen because for some reason the emulator just cannot handle this specific cutscene.
Really?
And so it can't handle this cutscene, and it can't handle the change disc screens. They both get presented as wide as possible. So, so yeah, you're not seeing the entire cutscene because it's being really, really overstretched. So hopefully that's very fun. And now we're finally at our next dungeon because the ghost ship is our next dungeon.
And I think you can guess where the ghost knights are.
Yes, they are. They are the boss at the end of this dungeon. This is kind of a neat dungeon. It's got some neat mechanics. It's one of the few places in the game where just running around doesn't get you into random encounters. You actually have to contact things. Yeah, so that's kind of nice. Kind of the Chrono Trigger style of getting into random encounters, which I like a lot.
Okay.
One of the reasons I really enjoyed Lunar: The Silver Star Story, which I played this year.
Oh, that's interesting. The version I played definitely had random encounters.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
Not like the ones where you contact the enemy and you get into it? Just
No.
Does that count?
The Game Boy Advance has stuff going.
Oh,
But
I didn't know that.
The Game Boy Advance version is literally the worst version.
That's really interesting. All right, so the ghost ship just played a ghoster's trick on us
Ghoster's trick.
by running into the Queen Fury, and so we got to make some repairs and we got to do something about this ghost ship because it's kind of in the way. So
I'm the sailor. I'm the sailors who are moshing in the pit.
For sure. I mean, one of the best albums of 2016 was Ghost Ship by Theocracy. So,
oh, well, there you go.
yeah, I can see why they'd be moshing over there.
Well, this is clearly a tribute to that album.
Absolutely.
Ghoster's trick. We got a Ghoster's trick in the chat.
Oh, good.
With my favorite Ghoster, Gengar.
Oh, perfect.
My favorite Ghoster might actually be Driftbloom.
Driftbloom is a pretty cool mon, I gotta say. So Shauna has just ended up inexplicably on the ghost ship.
Oh, and that shrimp.
And there's the Joker playing a trick on her right now.
Oh no.
But luckily there's some ghost knights that are here to protect her. What's going on here?
Oh no.
It's almost as if there's some sort of weird connection that Shauna has to this ghost ship.
I don't
Pretty
know
strange.
about that.
Alright, we're almost done with just like talking about the plot of this game. We're gonna actually start doing the speedrun again.
Yeehaw. My favorite part of RPG speedruns are mashing through
Absolutely.
15 to 20 minutes worth of dialogue.
Yeah, it's been 20 minutes almost since we beat Linus.
Yeehaw. Oh.
Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure our party's right, and it's not, so we're going to put Shauna and Hashel back in the party. And we're going to run down the stairs first thing. Now, the reason we're running down here is because when you run down here, it's going to trigger this, not really cutscene, but this little scene with the Joker running into the room. Then we're going to leave.
Well,
And I will show you why we did that in just a little while. But first, we are going to run away again. This time we're going to run back to the Queen Fury, because the Queen Fury now has an item shop. And we need to buy some items.
That's convenient.
I know. So, on to the Queen Fury we go, into the item shop. So, we're going to get a few things here. First of all, we're going to make sure we have 2 healing potions, which we only have 1 of now. We still have 1 Angel's Prayer and 1 Mind Purifier, which is great. And so now we need 5 Translights, and we need 8 Dancing Rays. And that should get us to the maximum inventory. It does. So, an Angel's Prayer is effectively the Phoenix Down of this game, so it brings you back to life. And then with half HP, and then the Mind Purifier cures you of status ailments that have to do with your brain. So confusion, and specifically fear. The boss of this dungeon can give fear to Shauna, and so if that happens, we need the Mind Purifier to cure that. Because that's right.
I got it.
So now we're going into the captain's quarters to get this scene to play, because we need it to play to advance the story. Then we run out, because we don't need to be in there right now. And we are going to run over here to get the next scene to play. And then we're going to go back down those stairs where we were before. And so the reason that we went down there to trigger the Joker to run into that room... Yeah, the ghoster, so to speak, is because when we do that, the next time we go down those stairs, see these little blue balls they're flying around? These little blue spirits, I should say. If you touch one of those, you get into an encounter. When you first enter this room, it takes the spirits a second to spawn in, and so you can actually run into that door before you touch them. And if you wait for that cutscene to play with the Ghost Joker to run in here, you don't get that free couple of seconds to get past those ghosts. That's why we run in there at first.
Interesting.
And so now we gotta chase the Joker around because he played that trick on us.
Oh no.
Yeah. So the first thing he does, he summons some skeletons.
Does he make you scared because he's like too real?
I think so.
Like
yeah.
you hear what he's saying, you're like, oh, this is too real, dude.
Pretty scary.
We do have a question.
Oh, perfect.
Silent Spaceman asks, "What's your favorite trick that's not the Joker's?"
Not the Joker's trick. It's such a fall off from the Joker's trick to any other tricks. I'll have to think about that for a second. So first,
I know what mine is.
So what I'm going to do first in this fight is that Hashel and Dart are completely useless, but it's okay if they survive. Not that Hashel is going to.
Oh, no.
But instead of wasting Hashel's turn by guarding, which will heal some of his HP, I would rather him just kind of stay stuck at 1 the whole time. So both him and Dart, I'm just going to have them waste their turns by attacking. And then Shauna, one of the things we bought was the Dancing Ray. Sort of like, you know, spoilers for Star Wars Episode 9, at the end, Rey has a huge dance party. This is what was inspired by it, the Dancing Ray item. The Dancing Ray is going to hit all the enemies with light damage, and those skeletons are weak enough that I don't even have to mash the X button for them to all get killed in 1 hit. So, that first encounter, very easy.
My favorite trick is spinning. That's a neat trick.
That is a neat trick. I think that's probably my number 2 as well, is spinning, because that is a neat trick. Alright, so we're going to run out of this room and run to the next room, because we're just chasing that purple ghost around, because we need to fight the purple ghost at the end of the hallway. And again, get past those spirits where they have a chance to fully spawn into the room. And in this fight, that purple ghost is actually going to stick around and fight us as well.
Oh no.
Yeah, so those purple ghosts are a little bit stronger than the skeletons, so just one of those translights, or not translights, one of the dancing rays is not going to kill it instantly. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to use either, hopefully Dart or Hashel will get a turn in before Shauna. Because we've been holding on to this item since the pretty early, I think we got this drop after the Mappy fight, the item called Total Vanishing. And Total Vanishing,
yeah.
So we use this in Disc 1 as well to fight a boss, and so here we use it again. The Total Vanishing just causes the death of, or causes the death of any non-boss encounter.
Wow, that's the real Joker's trick.
That is the Joker's trick.
That is the Joker's trick. And he's gone, ladies.
And so now that he's gone, we can just use a Dancing Ray without having to mash the X button on these skeletons, and we're good. And so that's the second fight. There's one more fight that's going to involve that purple ghost guy that we're going to get into in just a little bit. So we're going to run to the end of the hallway and finish our chase.
Wait, I thought we just...
Well, we did,
blasted.
but it turns out he survived.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it looked like we literally vaporized him, but it got away.
That is the JRPG class.
It sure is.
Along with the you beat the boss and then you're panting and losing.
Absolutely. Alright, so here we are in the final room. We ignore that treasure chest because this is the one where the purple ghost is.
What's in that other one?
I think it's 50 gold. I don't remember exactly. It's not useful for the run anyway.
You've cornered it.
Oh, and it turns out there's 3 of them!
Oh, this explains everything.
Alright, so in this fight, since the purple ghosts are stronger than the skeletons, we're actually going to use 2 dancing rays with fully charged up dancing rays, and that should kill both of them.
Okay.
So, pretty simple fight, and again, Shauna's going to do all of the heavy hitting here, because Hashel and Dart do not have a high enough magic stat. And once again, I don't really want Hashel to have any more than 1 HP, so instead of wasting his turn with a heal, or with a guard, I'm just going to have him attack.
Gotcha. And you don't need to use the speed up?
No, it could be useful. One thing I probably should do, I should throw a charm potion on Shauna in this fight, just so that not everyone goes after her and she accidentally dies. That would be bad. I don't think I'll be in danger of that, but just in case, I'm going to go ahead and have a save state here. Use our first dancing ray.
Woo! Can't wait to see how high this is.
Yeah, it should be. I forget exactly how high it is, but it's not enough to kill him because we got to use 2 of them fully charged up.
Okay. It went up to 46.
That's pretty good.
Which is not bad.
So I'm gonna go ahead and throw a charm potion onto Shauna. Make sure that so the charm potions in battle, it causes random encounters to not target that character for 3 turns. So if these guys would normally target Shauna, their turn just gets skipped.
Oh, that's what that means?
Yeah, which is kind of nice. So now it didn't really matter because the Joker's trick. So they just targeted Dart and Hashel instead. So now it's Shauna's turn again, and we're gonna use the dancing ray one more time.
Is this a game where if you target an enemy that's already dead, you don't attack as well?
No, luckily it will go and attack something else on the screen. I'm not sure how it chooses priority for its attack, but
woo!
All right, so that's the end of that fight. That is not the Ghost Knights though. That is an actual boss. That was kind of like a mini boss, so to speak.
That was the Joker's trick is that you thought that was the boss.
So now
Even
this little
death.
guy says, "Yo, come to the captain's cabin. I have a favor to ask of you." So we're gonna do that.
Those ghosts, Dudio Man makes a very good point. That Abby says they should be in Luigi's Mansion. Those ghosts are very Luigi's Mansion.
They really are. So here we can't get through the whole room without these things, so we can just avoid them by kind of moving slowly. So
Nice.
That's pretty easy. Sometimes I mess that up. Luckily I didn't that time, so that's good.
That was some good movement.
So now, you remember we went to that captain's cabin earlier to trigger that quick cutscene just to kind of advance the plot. We're about to go back in there again, and this is a room where technically you can avoid these the spirits here, but it is nearly impossible. I've never been able to do it before.
That looks rough.
Yeah, I've seen someone do it. I know you can do it, but it's not worth trying, in my opinion, anyway, because you're bound to get into an encounter anyway. So that's why we bought those extra dancing rays, is to use in these encounters. So we're just gonna run straight through them.
Oh wow, that guy looks way more like that's like the modern Joker.
So I'm gonna go ahead and speed up Shauna here just to make sure that that she gets. Hopefully she'll get the next turn. That would be ideal if she did. Okay. So now we'll just use dancing ray on these guys. And we only need to save 1 dancing ray for the boss fight in this dungeon. Ideally, we have 2 because that boss fight can kind of go wrong, but I think we should be fine.
Dang, that cleans up.
It sure does. And now Dart has hit level 6. It was bound to happen because he usually survives enough fights in here to hit level 6.
Oh, that's so sad.
It is sad indeed, but you know, all good things must come to an end.
Can I get some Fs in the chat for level 5 Dart now that he's level 6? It's so sad.
So we're here in the ghost ship, and the captain's gonna show up. And the cat. Also, shout out to Rose's character model with like the triangle chin. It's always nice.
Oh yeah.
Captain's gonna show up, and he's like, "Yo, dude, my crew, they're stuck here as ghosts. Can you please like give them like peace by destroying them? That would be nice. That would be nice if you could please do this." And then he says, "Ah," and it turns out
He talked about a princess. Who could that be?
I don't know. So now we need to get the captain's key. Here it is. And now we're out of here. And so once again, we're just gonna get into the encounter in this room because it's not worth trying to avoid these the little blue spirit guys. And then we'll be on our way to the Ghost Knights. Finally, it's been almost half an hour since our last split, and we're finally almost there.
Night.
Yep, but we're pretty much on pace as to where I thought we would be in this run, so we should still finish within 2.5 hours, I think. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and give that speed up to Shauna just for safety, and plus that way Hackle doesn't have to guard, and that's always good because that's just we don't want him to have any more than 1 HP. Down he goes. Shauna's turn. Cool. And once again, we're going to use that Dancing Ray as charged up as we can get. It looks like right now I'm getting like 240-ish.
Yeah, it's like it'll go up to 250 sometimes, but like 246.
Ooh, that was not a good
That
one.
was not.
Well, it's fine.
Rather
At this
than,
point in the run, so Linus was the hardest boss for sure, and we're done with her. So, and we'll have enough items where none of these bosses should be. We shouldn't be in danger of not beating these bosses. It's just not going to be quite as ideal as it would be if I wasn't using maximum emulator settings while streaming, because that definitely just kind of makes things a little funky in here. So we are going to run over here, trigger this cutscene.
I don't blame you for not trying to change the graphical settings before, because oh boy.
Yeah, EPSXE, once you find the thing that works, don't mess with it anymore.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving parts. Alright, we're mashing through some dialogue.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, so it turns out the Black Monster, the thing Dart is fighting, is what killed all these people originally. And it was pretty weird what was just happening right there with the Knights. I won't say any more than that.
Yeah, I wonder why they seem to be attacking Rose.
I don't know.
Rose seems to not have her memory.
Alright, let's head on in here, and let's trigger our boss fights
How
with the
dare you.
Ghost Knights.
Ghost Knights. Oh, there is a Ghost Knight boy.
There was a Ghost Knight board. That's very exciting.
Unforgettable. With memorable characters such as Ghost Knights, Bandit Knight.
Alright, so in this fight, ideally what's going to happen is we are going to throw a speed up onto Shauna. Shauna is going to use a translate on the Ghost Knight Commander because he's got a lot more HP than all the other ones. And then the other Ghost Knights are going to kill Haschel and Shauna, and then we'll be done. Because we'll use our Dancing Ray to take them all out. What can happen, though, is that the Ghost Commander can use an attack that actually sucks up HP from the other party members. In the public. And that can just prolong the fight by a good bit. We have enough items, we should be totally fine. And that did not actually kill Haschel, it just knocked him unconscious. And that missed. Great.
What?
So that's kind of too bad.
Wild.
Hopefully this one will hit. Good, okay, Haschel's dead. Just stay down there, buddy.
I wish they gave you a bit of an indicator of the difference between being like knocked out and... It's so weird.
Alright, so this fight's going pretty well so far. So ideally what's going to happen right now is that Shauna's going to throw the translate onto the Ghost Commander and then she'll get a turn immediately. That would be perfect. I would be surprised if it happened to be perfect.
Hey, that's a good number.
Yeah, so I think he's got 1700 HP, I want to say. Oh, this is perfect. Alright, so this was the perfect fight. So this Dancing Ray should take out all the other Ghost Knights in one hit, and then it should also take care of the Ghost Commander. It should finish up his HP pool. As long as we get a good mash on this, it looks like we're getting pretty good. Yeah,
according to the official Prima strategy, the Ghost Commander has 1800 to 2200 HP.
Aha.
You got a Night Raid.
If we got a Night Raid, we're not going to keep it for long. We're going to sell it. That is that's the single enemy dark type magic item. So we don't need that for this run because
Princess Shauna. Wait.
Yeah. Pretty strange. So these knights are saying on the ship they're trying to protect Princess Luvia from the black monster, and they seem to think that Shauna is her. And very minor spoiler, Shauna is not her.
Oh.
So that's yeah, you can kind of put that in your back pocket. So we're gonna pick up this dancing dagger over here. That is a weapon for Rose. We are not gonna use that, but we're gonna sell it. Yeah, it sells for a good bit of money. So we're gonna pick it up because coming up pretty soon, we're gonna be selling all of our equipment that's not actually currently equipped. So it's nice to have that.
Is that Ghost Nanny?
This is Ghost Nanny.
Wow.
And Ghost Nanny is like, oh, Princess Luvia, you're safe after all. Turns out she's wrong.
Wow.
And now the Queen Fury is repaired. The ghost ship, now that we've put the Ghost Commander to rest, is currently sinking.
Wow, I wonder why that ship would have a baby apparatus.
Indeed.
18 years ago, which is about as old as Shauna is.
Pretty strange. Pretty strange.
Weird
coincidences. That's one thing this game should be heavily criticized for. Weird coincidences like that. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So everyone is hopping onto the Queen Fury to get out of the ghost ship, but Dart and Rose are being held up.
Uh-oh.
And so Dart's like, all right, go ahead of us, Albert. Uh-oh.
Oh
no. What's going to happen to him? Let us know in the chat what you think's going to happen to Rose and Dart.
Damn.
Yeah.
Sad day.
Sad day.
Game over.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, it turns out Dart at least might be alive. His eyes are very clearly open on his upscaled model, but
you never know.
You never know. So him and Rose are just chilling, and Rose is going to be waxing poetic about the Dragon campaign and some guy named Z.
Who could that be?
Who could that be? Yeah, so she's talking about that right now. And this is now the bathroom break of the run because a very long cutscene's about to play. It's a pretty cool cutscene, so please enjoy, but I'll be right back.
We have some war going on in the chat. Someone said go dogs and someone replied piss off. That's right, I'm here. It's just me for a while. The bathroom break statement was not a joke. Dejubi is currently in the bathroom. Let's see what we got here. We got some lasers.
I'm taking you with me.
He's taking him with him. Get swag. It'll happen. Okay. Oh, ooh. Oh, he's shooting a laser at him. Dang, sad day. This sure looked like the Virage. Let's see what we got going on here. Wow. What's Girahem doing here? This dub is incredibly good.
How dare you?
If anyone's seen Gundam Thunderbolt, very reminiscent.
Oh, good. I'm back before the cutscene is over. That's very exciting.
I'm guessing this is from the Dragon King.
This sure is.
The guy said, "How dare you?"
And dude, this is where a lot of the budget of the game probably went.
Yeah, this is actually really good.
It really is. Like, there's some moments of kind of like, you know, early 2000s, late 90s PS1 jank, but a lot of this is rendered really well. Actually, in the strategy guide, it calls this the coolest cutscene in the game. So it's official.
I would agree with that.
I definitely, as a kid, had a save file that was right before the Ghost Knight fight, so I could watch this cutscene. Yeah.
Oh no, R.I.P.
Curse.
So there's Rose. She's like, "Yo, Z, please don't."
Go. Save yourself.
The dub. You gotta love the dub.
Gotta love the dub. There is voice acting in this game, other than the additions. It doesn't happen often, but every now and then the cutscenes do have voice acting, and some of the ones, especially in Disc 4, it's really hard to hear,
Oh,
which is really too bad.
it's actually. Do you think they did a dub for this, or was it like Shenmue, where it was just like all English speakers in Japan, and they had them all do the voices?
I think it was an actual English cast that did this, but I do think some of those the dubs, and especially like the Disc 3 and 4 cutscenes, they probably like, here's the space we have from the Japanese voice recording. You gotta say your line in this amount of time. So a lot of them are just really really fast and really hard to hear. So here's Pete and Pete's dog, and they find Dart and Rose, and he brings them back to his village, and
Oh wow, there's the best dog I've ever seen.
The dog's model upscaled is really, it's not an attractive dog.
Real bad. And we do have a good, I want to see some dogs in the chat. We do have a statement from
Ooh.
Baron Camlost 82.
Cool.
How was South Beach?
Oh, I didn't go to South Beach this time.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that fast.
That would have been a world record speedrun.
Oh, for sure.
South
That would have been insane. I would probably be sick if that happened.
There is a real life speedrun I do want to try, which is you have to sharpen tin pencils into like oblivion by hand.
That's pretty good. Now, speaking of sick, Pete's mom here is sick, and so she wants to get to the town of Fueno that's across like the undersea cave, and so he asks Dart and Rose like, "Hey, can you go get this medicine for us over there?" And so we're like, "Yeah, sure, whatever, kid." And so we're gonna go to Fueno. Plus, that's maybe where our friends are, because there's a dock in Fueno, and if the Queen Fury made it there, then hopefully the rest of our friends are there too. So we're just gonna run over there now.
Wait, how is this gonna go?
Pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be totally fine.
Because you
But-
only have Dart and Rose.
Yeah. All right. So, yes, this can go poorly, and I will indicate very shortly where it can go poorly. And then it turns out Pete wants his mom to come along as well. So here we're just talking to him about his mom coming, and Rose said something scary. I forget what it is, because this is not a whole lot happens right here, other than
Hey kid, get out of here.
other than Dart and Rose on an adventure. And so here comes Pete's mom, who her name in the game is Pete's Ma, so she does not get her own name. It's very sad. But yeah, so we're getting to the point where Rose is still very nicely leveled, so she shouldn't be able to die, but you can get a game over walking in the undersea cave right now. It's only a one-screen dungeon, but you're moving to the left. So if your movement is not perfect, you can get an encounter in here. Hopefully mine will be good. I'm going to kind of concentrate on that. And if I don't get good movement, I did just make a save state, so I'll just try again. Dart's going to say yes, and off we go.
Nice.
Alright, that was good. But yeah, if you get an encounter in there and you don't manage to run away, Rose can get killed if there's too many enemies, because as we all know, Dart is a wet paper bag right now.
Yeah.
We can also get an encounter on the world map. But to avoid that, we can only use a charm potion, because we can't do anything else on the world map.
Now, are you gonna use it?
Oh, we used it all right. All right, so here we are at Fueno. I'm gonna turn the page in my notes because we're gonna go do a shopping trip in just a little while after we mash through some more text. So Pete and his mom, whose name is Pete's Ma, make it to Fueno. A very long and arduous journey, as you can see. And they thank Dart and Rose, and they're gonna go see the doctor so that she can get cured of whatever illness she has.
Ailment.
Yeah. Speaking of illnesses, I think I have a pinched nerve in my left arm, and so any mistakes in this run, I'm blaming on that.
That's the best way to do it.
Absolutely.
Or the controller's broke.
Yeah, of course. And now Pete's gonna say, "Yo, Rose, you gotta tell him you love him," but she doesn't actually love Dart. She was talking about Zeke, who was that other guy in red from before. So pretty interesting stuff. All right, so we're gonna go look for our friends. So we heard that the boat, if it's gonna be here, it's gonna be at the the dock. So that's where we're gonna go first.
Where's the dock? Can you tell me where some sailors are?
Sailors?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Apparently in Shenmue 3, you can ask, "Do you know where you can find some martial artists.
Excellent.
So yeah, some things have been carried over. I've never played any of the Shenmue games, and it from what I've heard, I should just play Yakuza games instead. But I don't know if anyone in the chat has played Shenmue and liked it. Please let me know. So Kayla, the second mate of the Queen Fury, tells us, "Yeah, your friends are here. Just go find them." And so we find Maru, and Maru says everybody's in the hotel, and they call it a hotel. They don't call it an inn. It's a hotel here.
Nice.
So that's kind of neat.
I was about to say, are they going to make you do what you did in the scene earlier, where you have to go individually talk to every party member?
Fortunately,
again?
no. We're just
That
gonna
would be
go to the
amazing.
hotel. And so Kongol kind of gets the short end of the stick multiple times in this run. If you notice during all the ghost ship scenes, he was nowhere to be found in any of them. And in here, he also is he's here right now. But when we come back down the stairs in a little while, pay very close attention to Kongol's model, as well as that fat guy in the corner over there.
All right.
So fat guy in the corner. Anyone notice some weird things happening with him? So he doesn't move. He's just part of the background. He's not actually a 3D model.
Congo?
No, the fat guy in the lower left corner.
He
Yeah.
does look very like ironed on.
Yeah.
to the
Now, and you
background.
can't tell that unless you're using an emulator and you have everything up-resed. So keep that in mind, and we'll keep an eye on Kongol's model when we get back down the stairs. So Dart and Shauna are back together. They're very happy about this. Shauna was very distraught. And so they're hugging it out. And then they hear a little sound at the door.
Peeking is not legal.
And so Dart says, wonder what's going on out there. Let's find out. Oh, it's the gang.
Wow.
And now they're like, now we're back.
Aw. Is that arm moving intentional?
I am not really sure. Alright, so take a look at our boy Kongol right there.
Oh, he's looking bad.
Yeah.
He's looking worse for the wear.
But it's a nice kind of thing to see, because we can also see, like, right in the middle of him, where his model also projects outward. That way they can turn him to the side, like the guy in the corner over there. So it's kind of neat that
oh, it's like a cardboard cutout.
it's like a cardboard
with
cutout.
two cardboard cutouts smashed between each
Yep.
other. That's wild.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of funny that that's how he is in that scene, is his weird 2D model.
I think
Alright.
I understand why they did that, but it's still really weird. I
Yeah.
think they're trying to just like lower the rendering on it, and he's probably big and has more polygons in him than pretty much every other model.
I would think so. So here's our big shopping trip. So what we're gonna do, first we're gonna sell every piece of equipment we have. Now that we're done with that, we are gonna buy the sparkle dress for Shauna, because she hasn't had a equipment upgrade in a little while. And now we're also gonna come down here to the item shop, and I've got to remind myself of what we're gonna be selling here as well. All right, so we're gonna be selling. Let's see, we're gonna be keeping one healing potion, and we're gonna sell our mind purifier. We're gonna keep our angel's prayer just in case. We're gonna keep our spinning gales, because we'll need them in disc 3 if we play that. We're gonna get rid of our translights though. We're all done with those and our dancing ray. We don't need those anymore.
Wow, sad day.
And I think all we have left are charm potions, and we have the night raids. So we're gonna get rid of that.
Why would you sell your speed up?
So now that's what I did when I played this game casually every single time, because I did not understand that it stayed in your inventory. So I'm going to get 7 burnouts, and I'm going to get 4 gushing magmas, because our next boss is weak to fire. Oh, and I should have also bought some charm potions. So I'm going to go back there, I'm going to fill out my inventory with charm potions. I forgot to do that, so I'm a big old dummy. But now we got those, so now we're going to go talk to the drunk man. The drunk man is going to give us some more some information about where to go to find Linus, and he's also going to do some cool dance moves right here.
Dang.
Yeah.
He's hitting the whip
He-
nene right now.
He's having a good time.
Is that intentional?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh, because he's like rolling on the ground.
Oh yeah, no, he's having a good time. All right, so we found out from him that there's a big sea monster, or like sea dragon thing, that's been seen off of Prison Island. To get to Prison Island, we've got to go through the undersea cave. However,
Did I say his house was in Prison Island?
I honestly don't remember. I think it was probably a very poor translation of like the sea monster's house is Prison Island or something like that.
Okay.
So we got to get through the undersea cave to get there, but there's a problem with undersea cave. I also don't need to worry about encounters, so I'm moving to the right this time. And the problem is undersea cave is flooded.
Oh no.
And so, luckily, the folks over in Pete's fishing village know how to like adjust the tides or whatever to make it not flooded, or they can like send the tide out or unflood it or something. I don't really.
That's the wildest thing I've ever heard.
There's a few. Just get ready for that. There's some really good parts that happen in this section.
They can manipulate the tide, but they couldn't walk like
They
a
couldn't
mile?
exactly. Well, to be fair though, if they got into encounter there, it would be bad.
Oh yeah, that is true.
All right, so we're gonna head back to, I forget, it's Lidiera or something is the name of the fishing village. So we're back in Lidiera, and we have to convince them to let us go into Prison Island. So of course we gotta go talk to the mayor. So we're gonna hop in the boats, go to the Ocean Terrace where the mayor and the other people are playing some chess over here. This is where my favorite line in the game is. And yeah, Steven already knows what my favorite line in the game is. So I won't even fast forward through this text. I want to make sure we see it.
Get ready.
Well, I'll fast forward a little bit because it takes a second. Alright. So they're playing their game.
Not again.
Alright, so he wants to go to Prison Island. Is there a way to go? Alright, you said the Prison Island? Are you serious? You want to commit suicide? Here it is. We are serious, but we don't want to commit suicide. Thanks, translation. That's a good one.
Danger attracts me.
Yeah, so we need to pick the third option, which is we need to go see the monster, aka we want to go fight it. So they agree to let us go there, and so the villager at the top right of the screen, keep an eye on him.
All right.
He has a very important job in this village. His job is just to stand there 8 hours a day until they are told for him to lower the gate.
It's a floodgate. Okay.
So that's not the floodgate. We're gonna go and lower the floodgate in a second. Yeah.
Turn the valve.
And remember, he said to turn the valve, right?
Okay.
Turn the valve to
Yes.
lower the floodgate. All right. Just making sure I heard that correctly.
Yes.
So we're
That
gonna-
is what this is. I love this. This kids.
Oh yeah, that boat has got a mind of its own.
I
It's-
love a weird slow boat.
All right. So again, he said to go turn the valve. I think we might not actually be quite at 2.5 hours. So we're probably about 10 minutes away from Regal, and then we got some falling action to do on the way back. We're gonna pick up this chest. We have one item available in our inventory
Healing
now.
Fog.
Healing Fog is you heal all of one character's HP. Turning this valve should lower the floodgate.
What? He's like twerk teaming on that.
All right, so there you go. He definitely turned the valve.
That's not what turning something looks like.
I think he just kind of pushed
Jangled
it.
just jangled it there. It was like,
So I always think that's really interesting. I don't know if they forgot to go and add that animation in or what, but clearly I don't think that's what it's supposed to be like. So that's kind of fun. I like that little detail.
that's always good.
Oh, there we go.
Get on the slow boat.
Slow boat to the pier. I'm fast forwarding the boat a little bit because we don't need to watch us move very slowly in the boat. And now we're ready to go into the undersea cave
They
for
definitely
real.
forgot. I agree, Reeth, on the guy who animated was sick that day, but they just straight up forgot.
Rip. Alright, so we're heading into the Undersea Cavern. Undersea Cavern is actually a very safe dungeon because you take enough steps to need one charm potion, but not nearly enough to need two. So that makes this trip very easy.
Is that because you're mostly moving left or right?
Yeah, we're kind of going up and to the right and a little bit to the left on the way up there. On the way back, we need to use two, of course, but on the way there, we don't. So we just picked up the Jeweled Crown. That is a helmet that we're going to give to Shauna in just a little while. We're going to give it to her right now because we also are going to go ahead and equip or pop a charm potion right here. So the Jeweled Crown is good because it increases our magic attack and magic defense. And as you know, that's all we need Shauna for, is magic attack. So that's a really nice helmet
Is
for
that
her
by
to have.
10%?
I think it was 10%. I don't remember anymore. I just know it increases it.
That's a lot.
That's all I need to know. So we're going to head up to the final boss of Disc 2, which is going to be Regal and Linus. Linus is going to be back. So Regal and Linus are both water types, and now we have a lot more fire items that we just bought. So it'll be interesting to see how much these lag the game. Hopefully not too much, but we'll see.
Also my hope.
So there's Linus hanging out with Lloyd.
What?
Yeah, who would have thought? So she gives the moon dagger to Lloyd, and she calls him my love. So they're
Wow, dang.
yeah, they're macking on each other over here, and now they're talking about some stuff. And Lloyd's saying, "All right, time for me to unleash my plan."
Oh, they're gonna get.
Oh, but they got interrupted. Yeah, how rude. So it got interrupted by the party. Not very nice.
Wow, damn.
And Lloyd's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave now."
You killed Lavitz. I'm gonna kill you. Cannot stand it
And Lloyd's like, "Yeah, I did a lot of bad things. See ya."
anymore. I'm the bad guy.
And he also tells you
Duh.
exactly where he's going, so we can go chase him. So that was nice of him to do that. Classic bad guy fashion to do that.
Oh. What?
Turns out Linus is a dragoon.
Who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed? So
It's almost as if this is a chronicle of the legend of the dragoon.
Indeed.
As a whole.
all right, so what we're gonna do here, so when you see Regal, the dragon, he's a big old dragon.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, so you would think that Regal is definitely the scarier of these two, but Regal is very, very weak to fire. So we're gonna send out 3 gushing magmas to start off, because ideally these will each do a little over 1,000 HP to Regal, and he has exactly 3,000 HP. I don't think we're gonna get there though.
These
We're lagging
matches
like
are
crazy.
rough.
Yeah, that was bad. So we're gonna need 4 of those, which should be like, it'll be fine. But yeah, those were bad.
I'm tempted to. I don't know. I don't think it'd be worth it to start main or not.
I don't think I'm a very bad masher, so I agree. I don't think that would be worth it at all. So we're gonna buff up Shauna, and now Hashel and Dart have done their duty. They're at full HP because remember they were staying in the hotel earlier. Luckily, Dart's goes down like a paper bag, so no issues there. And luckily they have some really hard-hitting magic, and Hashel does not have very high magic defense, so we should be totally fine in terms of that. So we just gotta hope we keep on getting at least okay matches here. This one's a little bit better than last time, but not by much.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna need 4. We're gonna need 4. Maybe. All right, so I'm gonna do some strats on the fly here. See how much damage Hashel does. Not enough. If he gets maybe 2 more attacks before he dies, it'll be worth it. But
Oh,
this
they're gone.
should kill him. If it doesn't kill him, I'd be surprised anyway.
That dragon is so big.
Mm-hmm. This is a very long attack, but it's fine because again, Hashel should get killed by
We
this.
get some F's in the chat for Dart.
Yeah. This will be the last time we see Dart die, so at least there's that. Off they go. Getting flushed down the drain.
That's
Hopefully that's the only time we see that attack, because hopefully.
that attack is extremely long.
All right,
That
Hashel
did
survived.
almost. It's Hashel survived.
All right. Good for you, Hashel. Maybe Hashel will give the killing blow to Regal. That would be great. All right, let's get some good matches. Wow, that was awful. That was really bad.
Rough.
All right, come on, Hashel, get one to attack. No, this should do it. Yeah.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Hashel.
See you next time.
See you next time, dude. All right, here we go. So luckily, that's why we got that extra gushing magma, because we only really need 3, ideally, but clearly we needed another one.
Need this
so.
backup strap.
Yeah. So
Sometimes. Ooh.
they're getting worse. But again, we
He's
have.
gone.
Yeah. So we ideally in this fight we only need 2 more burnouts to kill Linus. As you know, we will probably need more. So
Yes.
let's see what happens. Now, granted, we did
We
throw.
have 7 burns.
Yeah, we did throw an additional gushing magma, so maybe we won't. But let's see how these matches go for us.
This one I remember would at least get to Okay.
That was better. That
They
was
at least
better.
go to 230.
Yeah, all right. That wasn't so bad. And an extra turn for us. Maybe this will do it.
So Shauna seems to also be regenerating some other points.
Yeah, so the other thing that happens when she gets attacked by magic is that the Jewel Crown also restores her SP, which is what you need to go into become a Dragoon. We don't care about that.
That's really good.
Did that kill her? Did that kill her? Nope. Alright, we need one more. That's fine.
She's way less threatening than she was not in Dragoon form.
Very true. And plus, Shauna's also way higher level than she used to be.
That's true.
So this should do it. I'm just going to mash this like maybe 200% call today, because I would be shocked for it. Oh, it's still going. Oh, it's because I didn't turn off turbo. That's why. Alright, that should do it. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
alright.
Dart.
Thanks, Dart.
I love Dart getting up, just like laying there the whole time.
He fooled. That's the Joker's trick.
Yeah, that really is the Joker's trick when you think about it. Wow, Lloyd, rip, you are boo.
Yeah. So unlike a lot of the other bosses we fought that are human or are sentient, Linus does not become our friend when we kill her. So she actually tries to take us out one last time.
It's for you, dude, Soldier Boy.
There it is. Steven, why don't you show those sunglasses on
absolutely.
for the chat?
See that right here? You got the Soldier Boy. It was all for you. Dang. Deflected it with one sword strike.
And Maru's kind of sad for Linus. Bit of a tragic ending here for her. Will we come under 230? That's the big question.
I don't know.
No, it'll be a little, maybe 240. That's probably a better estimate at this point.
Night.
Yeah, so rip Linus.
Change the world. My final message. See you later.
Alright. Linus takes some time. I think also this cutscene is lagging a little bit.
That's just how it is.
That's just how it be. Also, it's interesting, the in-engine cutscenes, they don't take up the full screen, and this is not an artifact of the emulator. You can see on your screen, if you're watching at home, there's two little black bars where like the game should fill out the whole space, but it doesn't. It's kind of a weird quirk of these in-engine cutscenes. At least I don't think that's an artifact of the emulator. It's been a long time since I played this game on disc on a console because again my disc 2 is messed up. And it soft locks literally right here. This is where it would soft lock if I was playing it on my disc. So. Oh,
really?
Yep.
Right there.
Mm-hmm. So luckily, I'm not playing on my disc, and this happens instead.
Boner police. Someone was very happy about the deflection cutscene.
Pretty fair. And so it turns out Maru is a Dragoon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
More common themes of this game is that in order for our party members to become a Dragoon, with the exception of Dart and Kongal and kind of Shauna, we have to kill the previous owner. Which is nice.
I don't know. I feel like they kind of, I don't know. Sure, why not?
Why not?
We've made enough friends. Now it's time to take from your enemies.
Exactly.
Your friends.
Because Kongal's, so as soon as Kongal joins your party, you can actually go and get his Dragoon Spirit from Lohan, which is a city in Disc 1, from the guy that sells you the water bottle. Which is
of course.
Yeah, it's sort of hinted at by like one NPC in Fletz. But basically that's a thing where you need the guide to know that. And otherwise, you don't get his Dragoon Spirit until like near the end of Disc 4.
Really?
Yeah, so if you want to use Kongal and you're playing this game, keep that in mind. Go back to Lohan and talk to the guy that sold you the water bottle and get his Dragoon Spirit. Because he is a good character. He is definitely the strongest character in the game, has the highest HP. He just doesn't take very many turns. So keep that in mind. But when I played this back in middle school, it was my team was Dart, Albert, Kongal. That's how I rolled. Because I was like, yeah, he's strong. I like that. And,
sometimes it's the simple things.
Exactly. So we made it to the second screen. So we're going to go ahead and pop that charm potion. Oops, what just happened there?
Looks like...
Go back. There we go. I think I probably accidentally hit the left button.
It happens.
I'm gonna blame that on the fact that I think I have a pinched nerve in my arm.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, good to be able to blame your injuries.
Sorry to hear
That's alright.
that. Ryuthon has some thoughts about the game.
Ooh.
1. Mary's high-res face is awful.
Not a lie.
And also, Iran, Dart, Kongol, Hash.
That's a solid team. Because Hashel is fast, but he also like actually like has decent physical stats and pretty decent magic stats. He's a pretty well-rounded character, sort of like Dart, but he's faster than Dart. It's just Dart by far has the most useful Dragoon form.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's the MC.
Indeed.
And pretty much every single boss summary at this point is just like spam Dart's Dragoon magic.
Yep. He definitely has the strongest in terms of like the sheer like normal attack power of his attacks are definitely the strongest, even though he doesn't have the strongest magic stats. So we're gonna come here and sort of prepare for disc 3 / keep going with this one. I'm just gonna fill out our inventory with charm potions.
Hell yeah.
Since we are not doing a disc 3 speedrun on at least this file. Tune in next January 3rd for disc 3. Maybe this summer. I'll actually try to learn it earlier than next Christmas break.
Tune in next January. January 2021. Clear your calendars. Someone's getting married. Tell them thank you. Sorry. Unless we're gonna project this during the ceremony. During the ceremony.
Absolutely.
I'm not interested.
Alright, so here, tiny bit of speed tech. We need to tell Polar that we do not want to become a man of the sea. Because it saves, like, a dialogue box.
What does he say? Is he like, oh, wow, cool. Talk to me when this is all over.
Yeah, it's basically Dart was like, yeah, that sounds good, but first I gotta do this. Whereas if you say I can't, he just says, I gotta do this.
Amazing.
So we tell Kayla we're ready to go, and out we go. So, here we are on the world map with the Queen Fury. Fun fact is that you use the Queen Fury to get to Disc 3 as well, and
cool.
You can press the square button to get onto the deck of Queen Fury like we were when we ran around as all the characters. And if you're in Disc 3 and you do that, it tells you to insert Disc 2. So I don't recommend doing it.
Really?
Yep.
That's amazing.
So all of the data for those pre-rendered backgrounds are on Disc 2.
Now we do have a statement from Dudiomon.
Ooh.
That Dudiomon missed Disc 1 for my cousin's wedding.
Oh, what a shame.
And that Dudiomon feels regret. He made the wrong choice.
Yeah, I understand his regret for sure. But what's important is you're here now. You're making up for your mistakes. All right, so we're heading out of the Flower City. We're not going to go visit Kate and Lynn. We don't care about them anymore because that's slow. And I'm going to be overestimate. I'm sorry, everyone.
I believe someone asked a question earlier.
Let's hear that question.
Is this a let's?
It sure is. Alright, so we're back in the Barrens again, and as it has been in the Barrens, the other times we're going south in the Barrens, we're going to need to use 3 charm potions. The first one will come on the second screen.
Good movement, though.
Yeah, not bad.
Now, the menu music in this game.
Menu music in this game is poppin'.
Perfect. Some of the best menu music in a video game.
For sure.
It's too bad it takes like a full minute to load that cool dope song.
It takes it even longer to load when you're on the world map, so you might have noticed that at least when I'm able to, when I don't have to pop a charm potion, I never do any menuing on the world map. Granted, the only time I would even have to think about doing that is like at the very beginning of the game where I switch my party to Albert and Shauna, but still, menuing on the world map is very slightly laggier, so don't do it. Alright, and so we are heading back to Fletz because we want to tell the king, like, hey, we defeated Linus, so the Garrett gang is gone, the lady that stole your dagger is gone, but we didn't get the dagger back. She gave it to Lloyd. Sorry about it.
You're just coming back to say, hey, we kind of screwed this up.
Yeah, so mission...
Really bad.
So, in other words, mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. Today I'm here to announce mission accomplished.
But what's nice is that you might remember at the very beginning of the disc, fake Princess Emily came down, was giving the townspeople a hard time. But now real Princess Emily is back, and the townspeople are very excited. There's also another horrifying dog.
That dog.
This is now dog chat. Let's see some dogs in the chat.
See some dogs in the chat for this poor dog. Now she's like, oh, I'm so sorry that y'all thought I was a bad person. It's me, the real one. Let's do the thing.
Yeah. Here comes the pregnant lady. Says like, yo, can you name my baby? And she's like,
Dang.
yeah, I'm gonna name it.
Dart.
I think she names it Al. Yeah, Al for a
Al
boy.
for a boy.
So keep that in mind, because we have a character in our party, Albert.
Oh, that's true.
So,
Wait, what?
wonder if she's like, Albert's looking good over there.
Damn. Something wrong? Oh. She's thinking I'm a snack, Dart. And I know you're not the right person to talk to about this.
Yo, there's no doubt.
Living-
Alright, so we're heading up into the castle, tell the king the good and bad news, but mostly bad news.
There's some good dogs in the chat.
Oh, good. I think, Steve might have, did you drop your phone over there?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard something hit the ground for a second there.
It was not your phone.
Oh, okay.
Everyone would be able to hear that.
I was gonna say, is my phone is the mic. So yeah, fun fact. Because my laptop does not have a microphone jack, so instead of using, my girlfriend has a very good microphone that she lent me, for specifically for this stream, but I can't use it, and instead I'm using my phone.
Sometimes, sometimes that's just how it is.
Yeah, exactly. So the king is like, oh man, you defeated the sea dragon though, aka it's party time.
He's like, actually, this was a great success.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all did it. Give yourself a pat on the back.
Yep. So which is kind of nice. It's nice that Disc 2 wraps up with like you're at a party. It's pretty nice. So we're gonna, but now we gotta get ready for the party. And Maru's like, oh yeah, I love parties. Let's party.
Then runs out.
Then runs away.
The king loves it. The king's like, oh, this is already what I wanted to be.
Alright, so now everybody's like, yeah, I gotta go do this. I'll see you later. And then everybody's like, yeah, I gotta go do this thing. See you later. Except for Shauna.
Walking around till the party starts.
As one does.
Gosh, what are you doing? Gotta roll up, man.
And I was like, yeah, me too. Notice how he's making a beeline for the tower that Emily lives in.
Wow, good,
And so now, Shauna finally says it, that she loves Dart. It's very nice. And Dart's like, what? I didn't see this coming.
Excellent.
And so, yeah, they're talking about it, and they're like, alright, let's make out right now.
Ooh.
But wait.
Oh!
It's our buddy Fester.
Oh, what could Uncle Fester be doing at a time like this?
Fester's like, yo, great job, you guys. You defeated the sea dragon. You took down the Garrett gang. I appreciate it. Bye.
Bye. See ya.
And now, like, alright. Back to business.
Let's get it poppin'.
Oh! Let's get some F's in the chat for Dart and Shauna's
Hi,
moment.
it's me, Lipria, aka Library. Well, see you later.
Alright, so Library just told us, like, hey, gather up your party so we can start the party. So we're gonna go get the party. And so, of course, we know where Albert's at.
Oh no, F's in the chat for iTwitch0, who has missed the whole game.
Oh, no! You, don't worry, you're here for the most compelling part of the speedrun, which is mashing text. Although it's nicely routed, picking up your party members. So we go to Albert first, and then on the way back from Albert, we basically pick up everybody else, which is kind of nice. Notice the painting over.
Oh yeah, the JPEG doesn't have the lady anymore.
I don't know. There we go. I managed to point correctly. Yeah, so the JPEG does not have Emily in it anymore.
Wow.
So yeah, so Al and Emily are like, all right.
And Darth's like, hey, this happened to me, so I'm giving it to you. Hey, party started. Were you all up to something here?
Nope. What makes you think that?
All right, well, I'll see y'all later.
See you at the party. All right, so like I said, now we're gonna go pick up everybody else. I am going to cheat while I'm running down this tower. Oops. I cheated too hard. There we go. I'm gonna cheat while I run down the tower because it's not exciting to just watch Dart run.
Are you gathering the party for the party?
Exactly.
A.
And so luckily, we don't have to be stealthy around these guards, which is very convenient. So we're gonna go through this door because going through this door puts us in perfect position to trigger picking up Maru and Hashel, which are already in the party room.
Ah.
They're the I would say they're the jokers of the team. You could even say being in the party room early was a bit of a joker's trick.
Interesting. Are they literally just in the kitchen eating food?
They're trying to get that food. So next, we're gonna skip going down and picking up Congos. We're gonna go pick up Rose first.
Okay.
And the reason we do that is because the room where we pick up Congal, we have to be in there after we get everybody to like actually trigger the party happening. So it makes sense to save that room for last. So just a little bit more nice routing in this run. So here's Rose. Rose is like, yeah, I love parties. And here we go.
Wow, I'm not gonna think about that. See you later.
All right, we should get under 240. I think that's very, very within the realm of possibility at this point. Well,
Okay.
maybe under 245. There's Congal doing some,
Right.
doing some really good practicing with his axe on that dummy right there. Don't hit Dart.
Now, real pro tip, like I said, in real life, this game reflects real life perfectly. Your friends don't like it when you almost smash them in the face with like a person-sized axe.
It's true. All right, so we got to go ask the library about the dresses, and she's right here. That's why we pick up Congal last.
The dress shop.
And so Maru's like, nah, I don't like to wear clothes. Rose is like, nah, I don't want to dress. So Shauna's the one that's going to get a dress.
Wow. AKA, alright animators, we can only do this for one.
So Shauna gets the unique character model. That is indeed.
Now, the Listener does have some important news for us.
Ooh, okay.
That this be outrageous, good K.
Fantastic. All right, so now it's party time. So tiny bit of speed tech during the party. We have to talk to the 4 people that are in the party, or like here, like available to us in the party, which are Congals. We're gonna talk to him first.
I love the 2D sprite.
Oh,
where
yeah.
Cutouts and moving
Yep.
left and right.
Here we are again.
Imagine having a party where it's like your closest buds and then a couple cardboard cutouts on motors.
Indeed. All right,
Oh,
so
these ladies really want that dart.
so Hashel's like, don't worry, Dart. Cougars are my specialty, and he takes over from here
Wow.
so that we can go find Shauna. She's somewhere at the party.
Thank you, sister.
So
What a
we're
game.
we're gonna talk to Maru first because the trigger to get Shauna to tell us like, yo, I'm over here, is basically where those 2 cardboard cutouts are dancing near the top of the screen. But we have
love
to
this so much.
but we have to talk to all of our party members before that trigger can happen, and so we'll do that coming back down from Albert again, hitting on Princess Emily, and she is not having a bad time with him hitting on her. So King's very pleased with this as well, and so now, oh, here we go.
Mr. Dart.
Library's like, yo, Rose needs you.
What?
Yeah, hold on a second. I thought Dart and Shauna were an item. But it turns out Rose is just being like a top-notch wingman. And we're not under 240, I'm sorry.
Oh, she said, yo.
She
Shauna
over
like you,
there.
dog.
Yeah. There's the character model.
Wow.
Yeah. So here's a nice tender moment. I won't even speed it up. It's all thanks to the dress.
She said yes to the dress.
She did say yes to the dress. Oh, a shooting star.
wow.
How romantic. I wonder if my wish will come true.
What's her wish?
It will. Because I wish the same thing.
Aw.
What a smooth guy. Look at those character models making
that
out,
he's-
baby.
I love that he's like wearing jeans and like
And red
red plate armor.
All right, and so time stops right now, and that's disc 2 of Legend of Dragoon. So about an hour shorter than disc 1, I think. A lot less fights, a lot more tech smashing, but still, I like the run of this. I like disc 2 a lot. Disc 3 and 4 are not as much of like self-contained stories as Disc 2 and 1 are. They kind of actually
really?
like advance the main narrative of the game a lot more. So those are really good. Tune in. Hopefully later this year for a Disc 3 speedrun, but
Let's
maybe
see.
next year. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, I think that's about do it for us since we're already a little overestimate. So
Be sure to hit that follow. You'll get the notification.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
when that run happens.
Yeah, and at least half a year from now. So
Yeah.
for all of you watching on YouTube later on, thanks for joining us again. This is an incredibly not legit speedrun for a lot of different reasons, which hopefully
will not be submitted.
yeah, hopefully y'all have picked up on the fact that this is extremely not legitimate, but hopefully it was fun. So thanks for tuning in, and wait, Hashel gonna get his latest wet. That's correct. Thanks, Studio Man. All right, so yeah, that's it for us. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time. End
Thank
stream.
you for watching.
End stream. Stop streaming.
Are you sure you want to stop streaming?
I want to stop streaming.
All
Ending.
right.
We did it. That was fun. Thanks for doing this again, Steve.
No problem.